Unmissable late prime broadcast. Prajwal faces justice. Live and exclusive. Prajwal faces justice. Live and exclusive.
Welcome. Nabila and I are going to take you through something that people have been watching for the last 33 days in disbelief, anger and disgust over how a sitting MP, Prajwal Revanna of Karnataka, despite rape charges piling up against him, has been holidaying abroad in Germany. Nabila and I have been looking very closely at this story. In less than 90 minutes from now, Prajwal Revanna finally lands back here in India.
And this is 35 days later. On the whole, he's been evading arrest despite multiple summons. But what we know for sure now, Shiv, is that he is on that flight. He's coming from Munich, landing into Bengaluru precisely at 12:30 a.m. That's the time that he's likely to step out. Maybe in about half an hour, he's going to be clearing immigration, but will be walking out as soon as possible as Interpol has been informed of his arrival. More importantly, the SIT is waiting to take him into custody. So we're keeping our lenses focused. Let's start with the headlines first. Prajwal Revanna en route Bengaluru from Munich, MEA to revoke his diplomatic passport. Rape-accused MP claims witch hunt against him by Chief Minister Siddaramaiah and his Sarkar.
Finally, the 2024 campaign ends. Prime Minister Modi declares there will be a political tufan on June the 4th. Congress President Kharge says the Prime Minister will go on permanent meditation after results day.
Prime Minister Modi in Kanyakumari after campaign ends. He will be meditating at the Vivekananda Rock. That meditation has already begun. Will be on for the next 45 hours. Opposition calls this a violation of Model Code of Conduct.
Larger conspiracy to shield the Pune teenage Porsche driver unravels. Mother allegedly gave her blood sample to swap it for son's alcohol test. Hunt on for absconding mother.
Delhi goes dry as temperatures soar. BJP protests outside Delhi Minister Atishi's house. Aam Aadmi Party blaming Haryana government for the water crisis.
In just about 87 minutes from now, Prajwal Revanna, triple rape accused sitting MP from Karnataka, is set to land on a Lufthansa flight direct from Munich to Bengaluru. The aircraft is currently over the Arabian Sea and will be landing at about 12:30. Just past midnight tonight is when his flight will be landing, a full 33 days after he left the country in the wake of this controversy surrounding alleged rape and sexual abuse, with hundreds of victims potentially lining up to point a finger at Prajwal Revanna. The JDS MP is en route to Bengaluru. He's flying from Munich to the capital city of Karnataka. Direct security has already been beefed up at Bengaluru. Nabila, we do know that the police is waiting for Prajwal Revanna right now at the Bengaluru airport. So he's likely to be arrested as soon as he lands.
And more importantly, Shiv, he's in fact applied for anticipatory bail even before he arrives. Remember, he's been in touch with his advocates and his lawyers all through the time that he's been absconding. And there's been an anticipatory bail application, which is now pending in the special court that hears cases with regards to MPs and MLAs. And that court is due to give its announcement on whether he gets bail or not only tomorrow. But he's promised that at 10 a.m. he will be before the SIT. He has no choice because it appears now that the SIT is waiting at the airport for them to take him into custody soon as he arrives.
So I actually wonder whether he's going to even have a chance to go home. If he's going to be arrested, then the question of 10 a.m. like you said, Nabila, doesn't arise. Let's go straight across to our reporters, Anaga Keshav and Sagai Raj, who've been fronting this story from Bengaluru right through our coverage, resulting, let me just say right off the bat, in the impact that we are seeing today. Perhaps Prajwal Revanna may not have decided to come back this quickly had it not been for the coverage by India today on this particular story. We were the first to break it. We've led with it. We have not refrained from naming and shaming, talking to the victims and breaking every aspect of this story. Sagai, quickly to you first. What's going to happen in 90 minutes from now when Prajwal Revanna gets out of that plane?
Once he lands in Bengaluru, he had to report at immigration office. And since a blue corner notice has been issued against Prajwal Revanna, the immigration office have to follow the protocol. And the protocol is to inform the investigating agency. In the case of Karnataka, the immigration office comes under Karnataka Police. So Karnataka Police will inform the SIT and they will take him into custody and hand over to SIT, that is Special Investigation Team, which is interrogating further. And probably you might get arrested inside the airport in front of the immigration office, and thereafter he will be taken to SIT office in Bengaluru.
Right.
And tomorrow morning, as a part of procedure, he will be taken for a routine medical test in one of the government hospitals here in Bengaluru. And
Right,
subsequently, he'll be produced
Sagai,
in front of...
So first come first, as soon as he arrives, the first thing that's likely going to happen, and that's what we have here as the exclusive scoop on Prajwal Revanna's arrest. As soon as he returns to Bengaluru, it's likely that he will be straight taken to the CID office in Bengaluru. That's where he's going to be kept overnight, and in the morning at 10 a.m., the interrogation by the SIT officers will begin. So he's going to be stationed at the CID office. The CID, by the way, and the SIT are the same team. It's the same office. In fact, the CID office premises is where he's going to be staying tonight. And right in the morning, the SIT team officials, comprising of nearly 20 officers, who are going to be arriving and will be interrogating Prajwal Revanna. We're not too sure about the line of questioning. Of course, Anagha and Sagai would be able to give us a clear idea on what exactly could be asked. But 3 FIRs has been registered. All 3 of them have accused Prajwal Revanna of rape. Anagha is with me on that. Anagha, you've been very closely tracking the victims and their complaints. We know that there's been heavy protection given to the victims and the witnesses in the case because it's a powerful family, the first political family of Karnataka. We know the kind of clout they hold, and we saw the march, Hassan Chalo march, that the civic bodies, activists, women's, victims' families have carried out to Hassan today to put pressure on the government and the authorities to ensure Prajwal Revanna doesn't go scot-free.
Well, that's right, Nabila. You know, as you pointed out, the entire Hassan has revolted against Prajwal Revanna. Remember, he's a sitting MP from this particular region. He has, you know, it's essentially a Republic of Revanna that is running around in Hassan district. And today, given the fact, you know, with all these realities coming out, entire Hassan has revolted against Prajwal Revanna, especially women. We saw how the women of Hassan protested against Prajwal Revanna. In just 1.5 to 2 hours, Prajwal Revanna will be brought to the exact location where I'm reporting from. It's the CID office, very close to Vidhan Sauda. Yeah. And right when I entered, Nabila, the first thing that I noticed was that there were police buses that were stationed over here. I don't know how clearly you can really see, but, you know, as my camera person Shivamurthy is pointing out, you can see 3 police buses that are queued up over there, hinting that there is sufficient police deployment. Although here and, you know, at the outside, at the entrance, we don't see much police deployment. But we are told that all the police officers, they are inside the CID office. Once Prajwal Revanna lands in Bengaluru, once he's arrested in the immigration office, the entire security situation in the place outside CID office is going to be beefed up. So this entire area is going to be barricaded to give enough protection for Prajwal Revanna. In fact, that was one of the most important topics that was discussed in the Chief Minister's meeting today that happened with all the top cops of Bengaluru as to how to provide security for Prajwal Revanna.
Sagai, if I could bring you in very quickly, he's going to be arrested as soon as he lands. He's going to be taken to the CID office where Anagha is stationed right now. Is he going to have any contact with his lawyers, anyone from his family? You know, he is after all a member of the, you know, of the Gowda clan. Powerful, influential. You know, is there going to be any family contact at all, or is he going to be taken straight?
So if you notice in the case of H.D. Revanna, his father, the SIT had given a time of 30 to 45 minutes in the morning for the lawyers to meet him. And probably even in Prajwal Revanna's case, there might be some kind of a provision for him where we can meet as lawyers or family members in the morning and discuss about the case, how to take this forward. And even last time when H.D. Revanna was produced in front of the magistrate, even at that point of time, there were advocates in his house arguing for bail and in that particular case. And probably even in this case, tomorrow there is an anticipatory bail which will be heard in session court. Probably it will not be an anticipatory bail because he might be arrested and the SIT might seek for a police custody. So it might convert into a regular bail hearing in the court. So the lawyers will be there even when the SIT will seek for a police custody, and they might allow him to meet in the morning or tomorrow, say around 10:30 or 11 o'clock, according to the SIT's protocols.
Okay, I just wanted to show you, viewers, tell you about the images that you're seeing on your screen, just for context, in case you've been joining this broadcast a little late. On the right-hand side of your screen are live pictures from the Bengaluru airport. That is where Prajwal Revanna is expected to be brought out from. We've got our cameras stationed at all of the protocol exits from this particular terminal, so you will see live pictures of Prajwal as soon as he gets out of the airport. The picture in the middle there is Prajwal Revanna's video in Kannada that he issued a few days ago to a Kannada media station, where he actually talked about why he was in Germany, talking about all sorts of stuff, being in depression, calling it a political conspiracy against him, etc. But the next piece of news that we're bringing to our viewers, Nabila, now, Sagai and Anaga, stay with us, is incredible. I mean, this is the family that has tried to distance itself from Prajwal Revanna, but take a look at what Uncle HDK is doing. Prajwal Revanna is about to land in Bengaluru, but his uncle H.D. Kumaraswamy, the former chief minister, who's made strenuous efforts to de-link himself from his brother's family. It is, after all, his brother's son, that is Prajwal Revanna. He's on holiday. He's gone off to a resort with his family, almost on cue, in order to not be in Bengaluru right at the time when his nephew Prajwal Revanna lands. And this is somewhere close to Bengaluru, Nabila. Can you tell us more about
this?
this?
We believe that he is currently with his family, Anita Kumaraswamy, his wife, his son Nikhil Kumaraswamy and his family. They are in Kabini. That's very close to Bengaluru. Beautiful, lovely resort area with a nice Kabini lake as well.
They're in a boat.
They're on a boat, but you know, to cut him some slack, Shiv, it appears Kumaraswamy has really been doing all the heavyweight lifting. The firefighting and responding to the media, receiving the heat, all thanks to Prajwal Revanna and the cases around him. I think he deserves a break. Election's over, and for him it's just barely 2 days before election results are to be announced. And at a time like this, never did the family expect that such a controversy will come to haunt them. Prajwal Revanna is the nephew of H.D. Kumaraswamy. Kumaraswamy is the one who's eventually answering to it, because his own brother Revanna has been in prison. Prajwal Revanna's father has been in prison.
And he's out on bail now.
So Revanna himself,
temple hopping.
Revanna himself isn't speaking to the media. H.D. Devegowda, for that matter, unfortunately is ill. He's categorically said, don't disturb me. So he's at home, silent. And understandably so. So the only one really firefighting is H.D. Kumaraswamy.
Absolutely, no, I agree with you, but I think the family will have to answer many questions about how a nephew, Prajwal Revanna, is the next generation of this family. He was allowed to get away from here. They can sit now and distance themselves. They can sit now and say, you know, we had nothing to do with his exit. But let's remember that this is a powerful dynasty in Karnataka. So H.D. Kumaraswamy, Revanna, and of course the patriarch, the old war horse, H.D. Devegowda, former prime minister of the country, will have to face questions about what this is really all about and how far back this goes. Sagai, you know, a holiday right in the middle of all this, you know, obviously it was timed with the return of his nephew. The H.D. Kumaraswamy family doesn't want to be in the spotlight. They don't want to be in Bengaluru, looks like, when the nephew returns.
So you should observe the statements of H.D. Kumaraswamy, the former chief minister. Initially, he said that these are two different families. They live differently and we live in a different place. And thereafter, he says that we have no connection. And after a few days, he gets an injunction order stating that he should not try to involve former Prime Minister H.D. Devegowda's name as well as former chief minister But he again jumps in, addresses a press conference in support of HD Revanna, claiming that there is no role of him and this all political conspiracy. And he talks about who have circulated this particular video rather than talking about the crime done by his own nephew, which has been alleged by the survivors. So it clearly shows that he wants to distance himself from all this controversy. But you know how the political dynamics here in the state of Karnataka is an important leader, and definitely this particular controversy will pull him, and he gets embroiled in all these things. He makes statement, and end of the day, now he wants to show that he doesn't want to get into any kind of media statement when it comes to Prajwal Revanna returning back to India. So he wants to distance himself from the media.
Right.
So he is holidaying in Kabini, the backwaters of Kaveri in close to Mysuru. So what is the need of sending this particular video by its media personnel is a big question. If he's holidaying, let him do that. Let him say that he is there somewhere. But what is the point of releasing this particular video to show it to the people that he is holidaying when his brother's family is looking forward for an anticipatory bail in the court for his sister-in-law, and his own nephew is also fighting for an anticipatory bail, and he might be get arrested tonight. So it is a big message by H.D. Kumaraswamy saying that he wants to stay away from all these things.
Absolutely, Sagai. What you said is really right. It is certainly a statement that H.D. Kumaraswamy is making by releasing this video as if he is unfazed, that his family and he are happy. He has nothing to do with Prajwal Revanna. But we should remember that the first person to have decided on a suspension on Prajwal Revanna was also H.D. Kumaraswamy himself. Of course, in consultation with his father, H.D. Deve Gowda. Kumaraswamy was the one who announced that Prajwal Revanna will no more be a member of the JDS. Now, that was, in fact, a statement came out by Kumaraswamy the day or maybe 4 days after Prajwal Revanna went absconding. That was the time an announcement came by Kumaraswamy, isn't it, Sagai? And also tell us a little more about this suspension itself. We know that this time, the only two family members among the three are Kumaraswamy and Prajwal Revanna, who have stood in this recently held Lok Sabha elections. So out of the two, one is now going to be behind bars. H.D. Kumaraswamy is, of course, fighting for his own relevance in the state of Karnataka. So when we look at this politically, for the Gowda family, this has been a nightmare.
Absolutely. It is a nightmare for Gowda family, but Kumaraswamy and Deve Gowda want to distance themselves from this entire controversy. And Nabila, let me take back to you the assembly election time when Bhavani Revanna was demanding for a ticket from Hassan. At that point of time, all was not well between Kumaraswamy family and Revanna family. Kumaraswamy outrightly rejected her candidate, saying that he will give the ticket to one of the workers, and subsequently he gave a ticket and he had won from that particular constituency. Talking about Revanna's family, Revanna is an MLA, he is a former minister, his son is an MLC, his second son is an MP, and he also wanted his wife to be an MLA from Hassan, but it was been not entertained by Kumaraswamy. So all was not well between both the families, but still they were party members, they worked together, and Kumaraswamy had sought vote for Prajwal Revanna, where when he campaigned in all the
just stay with me for a second. I just wanted to quickly update our viewers that the Lufthansa flight LH64 is delayed by at least 25 minutes. We've just got an update from our reporters on the ground at the airport. It was supposed to land at 12:30. The update boards at the airport now say that the flight is delayed till 12:54. So about a 25-minute delay on that flight. Remember, it's an international flight, obviously, from Munich to Bengaluru. It's about a 9-hour flight direct from Germany to India. But it will take a while for Prajwal to actually come out. So just before 1 a.m. is when the JDS MP will be emerging. Anaga also continues to be with us. But before that, I just want to play out for you the only time that Prajwal Revanna has spoken in public in the last 33 days since he left India. That's the video you're looking at on your screen right now. It's in Kannada. Listen to it.
ಏನು ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ನ ಹಿರಿಯ ನಾಯಕರಾದಂಥ ರಾಹುಲ್ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಅವರು ಮತ್ತು ಹಾಗೂ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಿರಿಯ ನಾಯಕರುಗಳು ಏನು ಓಪನ್ ವೇದಿಕೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ವಿಚಾರಗಳನ್ನ ಪ್ರಚಾರ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಒಂದು ರಾಜಕೀಯದ ಪಿತೂರಿ ಮಾಡೋ ಅಂತ ಕೆಲಸನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿದಂಥ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಡಿಪ್ರೆಷನ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗುವಂಥ ಕೆಲಸ ಆಯಿತು, ಐಸೋಲೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗುವಂಥ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರನ್ನೂ ಕ್ಷಮಾಪಣೆ ಕೇಳಿದೆ, ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಕ್ಷಮಿಸಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದೆ. ನಾನು ಏನು ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ಸಿನ ಹಿರಿಯ ನಾಯಕರಾದಂಥ ರಾಹುಲ್ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಅವರು ಮತ್ತು ಹಾಗೂ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಿರಿಯ ನಾಯಕರುಗಳು ಏನು ಓಪನ್ ವೇದಿಕೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ವಿಚಾರಗಳನ್ನ ಪ್ರಚಾರ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಒಂದು ರಾಜಕೀಯದ ಪಿತೂರಿ ಮಾಡೋ ಅಂತ ಕೆಲಸನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿದಂಥ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಡಿಪ್ರೆಷನ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗುವಂಥ ಕೆಲಸ ಆಯಿತು, ಐಸೋಲೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗುವಂಥ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರನ್ನೂ ಕ್ಷಮಾಪಣೆ ಕೇಳಿದೆ, ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಕ್ಷಮಿಸಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದೆ ನಾನು.
Okay, we're going to show you a live flight radar input in just a moment to show you exactly where that aircraft is over the Arabian Sea at this time. So 12:54, about 1.5 hours more for that flight to land. Anaga continues to be with us from Bengaluru, as does Sagai. Live pictures continue to bring... those live pictures continue to be with us from the Bengaluru airport. So I promise you, on our broadcast today, you will miss nothing when Prajwal Revanna is brought out from the airport under arrest. Nagarjun Dwarkanath is also joining our coverage tonight. Naga, 33 days, every single day we've been the only channel reporting on Prajwal Revanna. Every single day I checked, we've had an update, on where he is, when he plans to come back. We showed his boarding pass, the only ones who were not speculating anymore when he got on that plane. He's going to be landing in about 90 minutes from now. We've been speaking to Sagai and Anaga about everything that's going to happen once he lands. What are you hearing from the political establishment about what could happen once he lands? Because as we know, Prajwal Revanna is not any small-time guy. He's a popular MP. He's a member of a big dynasty. We've seen protests and crowds assembling in Hassan. We'll show those pictures in just a moment. What are you hearing from the system?
In fact, Shivin, today also we had an update on the anticipatory bail. This has completely taken a political turn.
Yeah.
Till now, it was only the family of Revanna who were saying that it was the conspiracy from political system against Revanna and family. But today, Prajwal, in an official statement to the court in anticipatory, the prayer says that he has been framed and this is a smear campaign, not anyone other than the chief minister himself and also the state government, that this is political vendetta, this is a smear campaign against me. And because in my political life, I have seen growth in the last 5 years, I have been framed here. And the video evidence that everyone has on their phone and which has gone viral in this rape case, alleged rape case, is morphed, is what Prajwal Revanna is directly blaming the chief minister and the political ecosystem as well as the state government, and saying that I have been under emotional distress and psychological trauma because of these fake photos and fake morphed videos that has been done. And Chief Minister himself is giving prejudged statements that Prajwal Revanna has been involved in rape cases. He has run away from the country. He's been absconding even before the investigation takes over. I am here to cooperate, but don't pass prejudged statements is what Prajwal has said. But coming back to the politics of it, taking on the Gowda family is not an easy task, right? Because they have, in old Mysore region, they have still a firm hold. In every assembly election, they've got 20 to 25% vote share. And we have seen Deve Gowda being close to Prime Minister in the last 2 years. Now they're in alliance with the BJP. So they also have the support system of the BJP because they're a part of the NDA as well. So Congress versus NDA, that's the fight now that has taken up in Karnataka. No political party has said that we support Prajwal Revanna, including Deve Gowda, who has put out a statement that everyone who has committed a crime or is part of this crime will have to go through the course of the law. But the JDS as well as the BJP have put out a united front saying that we need a CBI investigation. There is some lapses in SIT.
Right. Nagarjun, stay with us, as we know that the government of Karnataka at this point is bringing everything possible together to ensure that they arrest him and investigate the matter to its bottom. And in the latest that we have here is Chief Minister Siddaramaiah and Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivkumar holding a high-level meeting where all police officers, including the DGP Alok Mohan, Intelligence ADGP Sharat Chandra, Bengaluru City Police Commissioner B. Dayanand, have all landed up at this top-level meeting where they are discussing matters related to Prajwal Revanna and the case at hand, and are trying to thoroughly assess how best to take this case forward, considering there are several victims, notably nearly 300 victims, allegedly, whose videos have been leaked and whose identity has been exposed, and many of them pointing fingers at Prajwal of sexually violating them, some of them accusing him of rape. 3 formal FIRs of rape have been filed. So it appears that the entire police and state machinery have come together now, are trying to ensure that punishment is given, but how to take this forward? He is an MP, Member of Parliament. Remember, he has a special privilege. He does have a special status. For God's sake, he has a diplomatic passport, and that's how he left the country, and he manages to stay there, goes absconding for nearly a month or more. Very conveniently says that he was depressed, and so he wanted to cut off from all kinds of news. Did not have the courage to face the investigation if he thinks he's innocent. But nonetheless, he's on his way back. He's just on the flight. The flight is delayed, but of course, our coverage here continues. Anagha is with us as well. Anagha, this top-level meeting, could you tell us where exactly it's happening? Chief Minister Siddaramaiah, DK Shivkumar, along with the police commissioners, the SIT officers, are all together collectively discussing how best to take this forward. What's the agenda of this top-level meet that's currently underway?
Well, Nabila, if you take a look at what's happening in Karnataka, be it in Hassan or in Bengaluru, there is significant revolt against Prajwal Revanna. Even if you see, those videos that leaked, nobody in a right state of mind would have done the kind of things that allegedly Prajwal has done. The sheer monstrosity of it, the unspeakable things that he has allegedly done on those women. So given all these things in mind, there is a huge revolt against Prajwal Revanna, be it in Hassan, that is his own constituency, or be it in Bengaluru. So keeping all this in mind, the Bengaluru police officials, the Home Department and the Chief Minister, Deputy Chief Minister, all of them held a top-level meeting, very detailedly listing down what exactly should happen once Prajwal lands. So first, he's going to be arrested right in the immigration center, but what after that? The second he's out of the airport, he's going to be, he's going to be in public, he's going to be and in the eye of public. So what should happen next? Where should he be taken? What's the number of police deployment? How should he be protected to ensure that we get the right statement from him, to ensure this accused that we are talking about is protected? So all these things were discussed by the police officers with the top level politicians. We are being told that Prajwal is going to stay right here from where we are reporting from. He's going to stay here overnight. Tomorrow morning is when the interrogation is going to begin. After that, he's likely to be taken to Boring Hospital right here in Bengaluru, where he's going to undergo a medical checkup. After that, he's likely to be produced in front of the magistrate to sort of either seek judicial custody or whether he'll be given to police custody. So all these things will be revealed tomorrow. But for now, for tonight, Prajwal, once he lands, he's going to be staying right in the CID office where we are showing you.
Anagha, we saw today the Hassan Chalo protest, where we saw thousands of people from the civic bodies. We also saw activists, many Dalit and farmer groups. We saw this huge movement all the way towards Hassan, where they launched this protest demanding that Prajwal Revanna be arrested with immediate effect, without a delay, as soon as he lands, and also asking for victims' protection. So looking at the crowds that we see there that march towards Hassan, is the police expecting a law and order situation, that there could be disturbance just when Prajwal arrives, maybe?
Well, of course, especially in Hassan, the areas surrounding Revanna's house and Prajwal Revanna's house, the MP quarters that he was allotted to, the police are expecting significant disturbance, some sort of a law and order situation. Because remember, even in one of the complaints, he has allegedly raped a Zilla Panchayat member at gunpoint. That's the level of monstrosity that we are talking about, Nabila. Keeping all these things in mind, we are expecting a lot of women especially to come down on the streets, a lot of farmer organizations, a lot of youth Congress workers youth Congress workers as well. They're all expected to get on the streets of Hassan and protest
the
against
youth Congress
Prajwal
is going to
Revanna,
protest.
demanding
This
that
has taken a political turn. Shiv, this has certainly taken a political turn. It's Lok Sabha elections that's currently underway, and we can of course expect the Congress to milk the situation, considering the JDS is in alliance with the BJP. But letting go of politics aside, looking at this case objectively, there are hundreds of victims who are threatened by Prajwal Revanna arriving into Bengaluru.
And
They're so scared.
And a bare handful of them have actually even had the, the courage to actually step forward and, register complaints, forget about talk to the media, etc. And that's because of the kind of fear psychosis that you're talking about. So it's not surprising at all, given how powerful this family is. Hopefully, there will be a sense of security going forward provided by the political establishment, so justice can not only be served but also seen to be served. I want to quickly update our viewers once again that 12:30 is when the flight was supposed to land. Now it's 12:54, which means that Prajwal Revanna will probably come out of the airport somewhere close to 2 a.m. But we're going to continue to cover this story live because there are developments happening on the ground. Security has also been beefed up. I just want to ask Nagarjun very quickly about what happens at the airport. Sagai was briefing us about the immediate arrest of okay, Naga's not with us. We'll get him in just a moment. Shilpa Nair is going to be joining us from inside the airport in a short while. I'll alert our viewers as soon as we can get you that exclusive input from inside the airport. But Sagai, the airport itself, I'm just wondering, are we going to get to see Prajwal Revanna being brought out? Usually in such cases, a certain measure of care is taken to whisk the person out of a secret exit or a VIP exit. He is, after all, a sitting MP, even though he's a rape accused. But what are you hearing? Will the media get a chance to see Prajwal?
The chances are quite minimal. As you rightly pointed out, that in all possibilities, he might be taken out in the VIP exit gate, which is there in the Terminal 2. So immediately after reaching immigration office, the police might arrest him showing the warrant and might seize his passport. And thereafter, they will have a vehicle inside there and they might take it. So the chances of him on media cameras is quite minimal, but we are all said we are going to follow him, and there are also protests planned by Youth Congress near one of the tolls close to the airport. So they might try to block the vehicle and protest in front of Prajwal Revanna. So all this political drama continues in the state of Karnataka, but we are trying to get the pictures of Prajwal Revanna in airport.
Anaga, quickly coming to you, at the CID tomorrow, this high-level meeting has taken place between the intelligence officials, the police officials and the government, because obviously this could very much take a political flavor tomorrow once the crowds start to build, if at all they do. But as far as the post-arrest scenario tonight is concerned, can you brief our viewers once again about what happens? From the airport, he's going to be taken straight from the international airport to where you are right now, the location where you're reporting from tonight, which is the CID. And is this where he will be interrogated and produced tomorrow as well?
Well, that's absolutely right, Shiv. Keeping the Blue Cross, the entire Blue Cross procedure in mind. So right in the immigration center, that's when Prajwal Revanna will be arrested, because that's exactly what the Blue Cross notice warrants. So he will be arrested there, and with tight security deployment, he will come here to the CID quarters with zero traffic, because that's the amount of security that that this whole situation warrants. As you can see, security situation is already building up. Police teams have started to arrive one by one, convoy by convoy. They are arriving at this spot exactly where, reporting from the CID headquarters, Prajwal Revanna will be detained here. He will, Shiv, there are facilities here. There are beds, there are sufficient washrooms over here, a cafeteria. So, it's perfectly set up for Prajwal Revanna to stay here overnight. And this was the exact building where his father, Revanna, also stayed when he was detained by the police. So Prajwal Revanna will be here till tomorrow by around afternoon shift, because morning is when the interrogation will happen. They are going to take clips, audio clips of Prajwal Revanna, and they will try to match it with those video clips that broke out over social media. So, so they will try to match whether this is the same audio as Prajwal Revanna. That's going to be one of the most crucial pieces of interrogation shift. After that, Prajwal Revanna will be taken to Boring Hospital for a medical checkup, and post that, that's when he'll be produced in front of the magistrate, where the SIT team will ask for Prajwal Revanna's custody.
You know, in fact, the Karnataka government, right from the start, have been saying they've been accused of letting Prajwal go easy. There were questions raised that when the videos were leaked, and this happened precisely right before the first phase of polling in Karnataka. So basically, the 26th was the second round of polling. So between the first and second phase of polling, the videos had already leaked, and questions were asked as to why Prajwal Revanna was let go. Why was he allowed to get off, exit the country in the first place? So the state government put the blame entirely on the central government, claiming that we've shot letters to the centre, but the centre has sat on it, hasn't really cracked down on his diplomatic passport. Nonetheless, the Ministry of External Affairs did react on the Prajwal Revanna case, and here's what they said.
मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूं कि 21 तारीख को, इस महीने की 21 तारीख को हम लोग के पास वो रिक्वेस्ट आया था कर्नाटका सरकार से। 23 तारीख को हम लोगों ने शोकॉस नोटिस, जो हमारा प्रावधान है, विधिवत जो प्रावधान है इंडियन पासपोर्ट एक्ट के तहत, हम लोगों ने शो कॉज नोटिस जारी किया उस मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट के नाम पे। उनको दिया गया कि क्या बताइए कि आपका डिप्लोमेटिक पासपोर्ट क्यों नहीं कैंसिल हो सकता है। उसके लिए 10 दिन की अवधि है, 10 दिन के अंदर उनको जवाब देना है। 23 तारीख को हम लोगों ने ये शो कॉज नोटिस जारी किया था। हम लोग उनके जवाब का इंतज़ार कर रहे हैं। जवाब मिल जाएगा, उसके बाद हम अपनी कार्रवाई आगे करेंगे इस पर।
1 hour 24 minutes to go for Prajwal Revanna's Lufthansa flight from Munich to land after 33 days absconding, multiple summons he has evaded. He finally lands in a short while from now to face justice. After this very short break, Nabila and I are going to take you inside the international airport in Bengaluru, where Prajwal Revanna will finally be arrested 90 minutes from now. Stay tuned. 30 seconds, we're back. Our coverage with our reporters on the ground, both outside and inside the airport, continues. Stay with India Today's coverage.
Introducing Motorola Edge 50 Fusion. Own the spotlight.
सुप्रीम के 9000 से भी ज्यादा प्लम्बिंग एंड ड्रेनेज प्रोडक्ट्स और वाटर टैंक्स बने हैं क्वालिटी रॉ मटेरियल्स एंड इनोवेटिव डिजाइन से। सुप्रीम टोटल पाइपिंग सोल्यूशन, जीवन भर का साथ।
इस बार प्रचंड बहुमत से रोहतक लोकसभा सीट कांग्रेस पार्टी जीतेगी और केवल रोहतक ही नहीं, 10 की 10 सीट हरियाणा में कांग्रेस का गठबंधन जीत की तरफ अग्रसर है। बीजेपी की 10 साल की सरकार नॉन परफॉर्मिंग सरकार साबित हुई है और लोग अब परफॉर्मिंग सरकार लाने के लिए, हरियाणा के उज्जवल भविष्य के लिए, देश के संविधान को बचाने के लिए, लोकतंत्र को मजबूत करने के लिए प्रदेश के लोगों ने बदलाव का मन तय कर लिया।
समर्थन बीजेपी की सरकार को, लेकिन एक सबसे बड़ी समस्या बीजेपी को वो फेस करनी पड़ रही है ये कि किसान आंदोलन बहुत बड़ा इशू है।
किसान आंदोलन नहीं है क्या? किसान पूरे हिंदुस्तान में नहीं है क्या? किसान अन्नदाता है, अपने खेत में काम कर रहा है। ये सिरसा में सिर्फ पंजाब के साथ सिरसा में कुछ लोग पार्टी के पदाधिकारी हैं, वो लोग किसानों को बदनाम कर रहे हैं। किसान आंदोलन यहाँ नहीं है।
प्रियंका गांधी ने कहा था कि आपको दिल्ली नहीं पहुंचना चाहिए, आप इनको दिल्ली से हटा दो।
नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है कि किसी को कोई दिल्ली पहुंचने से रोके।
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
You are watching India Today.
Rape accused Karnataka JDS MP Prajwal Revanna is all set to land in India 33 days after he left the country under a cloud of allegations that now include 3 rape FIRs against him. He faces arrest. Let me show you where his Lufthansa flight currently is. Courtesy Flight Radar, these are live images of LH764, the flight straight from Munich. It's a 9-hour flight. As you can see, it's over the Arabian Sea. In about 20 minutes, it will be over the Indian peninsula and then will be landing in Bengaluru in about 1 hour and 18 minutes from now is when he will be landing in Bengaluru. So live images of that radar track of that aircraft. The reason why it's important for us to show you this is because until this morning, viewer, there was no confirmation that Prajwal was heading back to India and on which flight. India Today reported it to you first. We were the first to show you the details of his boarding pass without the personal details, and now we've got a confirmation. DL H764 Lufthansa flight from Munich is going to be landing in 1 hour and 18 minutes from now. Nabila, 33 days later, and finally an image of that inbound aircraft.
And he's en route finally to Bengaluru. He made that commitment through that video bite that he released himself. And I'd say it's quite shameful that he decided to stay away from the investigation, evade it for nearly 33 days now, and finally has agreed to come down when he realized that there was no escape. The MEA, remember, has given a warning that if he does not come back or respond, then his diplomatic passport will be cancelled. Prajwal Revanna is currently flying from Munich to Bengaluru. Security, of course, across Bengaluru airport has been beefed up. Will Prajwal Revanna be arrested? That's the big question. Of course, the Home Minister of Karnataka, G. Parmeshwara, and the SIT team are stern that he will be taken into custody the moment he lands. But remember here, he is a member of parliament. He currently is the incumbent MP of Hassan. And at this point, he does have special privileges, but at the same time, the Interpol has been informed that he has a notice and a warrant against him. So the moment he lands, it's very likely that they will escort him out to the VIP exit and straight to the CID.
All the
Shilpa
agencies.
Nair is also with us, Shiv. She's right there at the airport. Shilpa brings us those images right from inside the airport. She's tracking Prajwal Revanna's movements closely. We believe, Shilpa, that Prajwal's flight has delayed a bit. Do give us more clarity on that.
Well, yes, Nabil. In fact, Prajwal's flight has been delayed. It is expected to now land around 12:57. That is the time that we are expecting as far as Prajwal's flight is concerned. But as far as this investigation is concerned, this is probably the biggest and most important point, because remember, SIT was constituted by the Karnataka government to probe this case, and until now, They've been, of course, writing letter after letter, to ensure that Prajwal comes back to the country, because the investigation cannot really go forward unless Prajwal is interrogated, unless more evidence, of course, is gathered. They need to match the audio of Prajwal with the audio that is heard in the videos that have come out. So all of that needs to be done, and all of that can be done only once Prajwal comes back. So that is the reason why today, of course, marks a very crucial day in terms of the investigation into these sexual abuse cases. Prajwal's flight, of course, will land in a short while from now. As of now, inside the airport, the scenes are quite empty, but outside there's a lot of activity. We are seeing a lot of barricading being done by the police, several police officials also present outside to ensure that things remain under control. And in all likelihood, Prajwal will be arrested the minute he clears his immigration and comes out, because there is, of course, an arrest warrant against his name. So the minute he lands and he clears that immigration checkpoint, he will be taken into custody by the SIT, and he'll be taken to
Shilpa,
the SIT.
would we know if there are additional security forces inside waiting for Prajwal? Have you spotted any beefed up security measures that they're taken inside the airport as well?
Well, inside, as of now, we're not able to see much of an activity. Probably they're waiting for the flight to land, or just a short while before that, we can expect some activity inside the airport. But outside, of course, there's a lot of barricading. The security presence, of course, has been heightened there as well. Our video journalist is sending us constant visuals from outside the airport, where minute by minute things are changing. There's a lot of media personnel also outside, because there's, of course, a lot of curiosity. Everyone in Karnataka has been following this case very, very closely, and this marks an important development. Prajwal's return to Karnataka marks a very important development as far as this case is concerned. So that is the reason why a lot of people are waiting outside the airport, and there's a lot of police presence there as well. But inside, for now, we don't see much of an activity. But once he lands, of course, we will try and get those visuals of him being taken into custody by the SIT.
Shilpa, was there any buzz, since you have the unique position of being inside the airport and reporting for us, which is something we value very much, is there buzz inside the airport that, someone like a Prajwal Revanna, who's been on the TV screens for the last 33 days, is returning today, landing in Bengaluru? Are people aware of it, or it's all quiet this late in the night in Bengaluru?
Well, Shiv, I'll just show you the visuals from inside the airport. It's quite empty, if you can see. So there's not much activity here per se.
Yeah.
Probably the travelers are not very aware of Prajwal's return, but going outside, they'll definitely know that something is happening here, because that's the kind of media frenzy. And in terms of the security deployment, it is quite expected to, there's going to be a lot of hectic activity in just a short while from now once Prajwal lands. So in order to make sure that things remain under control, the cops have, of course, ensured that they have heightened the security outside the airport. But Prajwal, as far as his flight is concerned, he took that flight from in the morning today, and it was only the morning that we got a confirmation that he's indeed boarded that flight. And he was expected to land around 12:30, but then that flight was delayed. So around 12:54 is when his flight will land now. So once he lands, of course, he'll have to go through the immigration process. Remember, the MEA also had initiated the process of cancelling his passport. So a lot of, traction with respect to Prajwal's movement that is happening. So authorities are on high alert as far as his movement is concerned. And SIT officials, in all likelihood, will
stay with us. And I suppose that you are going to be following very closely Prajwal Revanna's landing. We believe that his flight has been fairly delayed by 25 minutes. And he is going to be arriving exactly at the same airport and the same terminal, Terminal 2, where Shilpa currently is.
And
go on, Shilpa.
We're joined now. We want to get a perspective in right now as we wait for that flight. Nagarjun Dwarkanath continues to be with us. He leads our team in Bengaluru and has been bringing us all the latest on this case. Also welcoming onto our coverage is Vikram Singh, Dr. Vikram Singh, security expert, former Director General of Police, to give us a law and order perspective. Also with us is Sumit Chandar, is a well-known advocate for a legal perspective on this case. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for agreeing to be with us late this evening on this important important story. Naga, before I come to you, let me get a quick word in from our guests. Dr. Vikram Singh, warrant is there. 33 days this man has been abroad. He's a sitting MP. 3 rape FIRs against him. Is there anything that the police can do other than, arrest him once he lands?
Have their hands full. There are so many things that need to be done. Arrest him, take him for prolonged interrogation, and after the interrogation, subject him, after the court's permission, to the lie detector test and also the narco analysis if it is possible. Narco analysis has to be, there are certain formalities that have to be completed, but the lie detector test and the polygraph test can happen immediately. And there are certain important questions that need to be incorporated as a part of the investigation plan, as also the identity of those whom he victimized, and also the modus operandi and the origin of the pen drives. There are so many questions, and I believe there wouldn't be fewer than 200 questions which Prajwal will have to answer, and there'll be not only detailed interrogation and extensive follow-up thereafter. Then the history of his diplomatic passport, his purpose of going underground for 33 days. When I say underground, he fully knew the consequences of his movement abroad. And then what is his support system? The support system within the administration, the support system within the police, as also the fact that how was he able to ensnare 2,796 videos? You really have to be a monster to even do a thing like that.
And that number is something that has boggled the mind for quite a few days. Before I go to Sumit Chandar, Naga, could you throw some light on that number? We've seen many different numbers in coverage of this entire controversy. 2,700 videos, hundreds of victims. What is the investigator? What is the SIT saying? What is the real quantum of victims and videos we are looking at here?
Well, there are 2,000 odd clips is what we have been told from our sources. As of now, that's the number of clips they have found on a pen drive that was given by the driver himself. We don't know the quantum of victims. As of now, only 3 rape cases have been filed. 3 victims have come out and given statement under 164 for rape. But we still don't know how many more victims are to be coming out. But what has the police done is they have completely become tight-lipped, and also they're not even uploading the documents on online portals so that public cannot consume it, because also of the sensitivity of the victims, they have to assure that not the identity of the victims are put out. Hence, the investigative agency also have been completely tight-lipped. But once 3 women have come out to file the rape cases, more and more cases will come out in the next few days is what we are told. Yes, the sources have confirmed there have been 2,000 odd clips, but we don't know the number of women in that videos.
Okay.
All right. As we see, the FIRs that have been filed are 3 with 3 rape cases. Now, as much as people might say in the leak videos, a lot of Prajwal Revanna's face isn't visible, but his voice you can hear clearly. But when it comes to rape allegations, when a woman files an FIR accusing that she has been raped, accusing someone of rape, then it's not necessary to be producing a video before court. So, looking at from that perspective, the videos itself, of course, is an added benefit for these victims at this point. But the fact that they've already accused Prajwal Revanna of rape itself is enough for him to be taken into custody. Let's hope the SIT further gets to the bottom of it. But Sumit Chandar, who's the advocate, also joining us to give us a little perspective on that. Sumit, as we see, no face of Prajwal Revanna in many of those videos, and he says it's been doctored. A lot of it has been doctored. A voice can be heard which resembles Prajwal Revanna, but that's for the forensics to find out and get to the bottom. But when a person accuses someone of rape, how exactly does the case go forward in it?
See, you're right when you said that what at this stage, even the allegation of rape is sufficient to constitute the offense of rape for the investigation to begin and for the arrest to be made. You're very right on that part. But here in his anticipatory bail application, let us see the grounds taken by him. Basically, 2 grounds that he has taken. He says that 1, that those videos were politically motivated, and 2, that if the electronic evidence the court needs to see was fabricated or not as by him. And what to support his contention, again, now the accused says that in June 2023, when he had got to know of this, some fake and mock photographs, he had filed a civil suit then. So he had already assume that these kind of things might occur, might happen. It might be politically motivated, and he did take the necessary action what he thought would be right in the civil nature at that time. Which, of course, now in this criminal case with the direct allegations of rape by the victim and a statement made before the magistrate, now the court needs, of course, to see one, primarily the nature and the gravity of the offense.
In a typical case of rape and 3 rape cases, there's 3 FIRs. In a typical case of such nature, does the accused be granted bail? Does it usually happen? Especially now that he's a MP as well, it makes it all the more complicated.
Yes, not at all. In fact, it's very rare, rarest of the rare circumstances that an anticipatory bail would be given in these kind of rape cases. But what you also need to see, where the court has to not only see the nature and gravity of the offense, the court also needs to see the antecedents of the accused. He is a public representative, as is known to everybody. Is he a flight risk? Of course, he has gone there, but
he's gone absconding for 33 days. He is clearly a flight risk.
Yes, but at the same time, he is submitting himself to the investigation. Again, these are aspects the court needs to see. And if you look at it, Supreme Court in several of its judgments, including the Gurbaksh Singh case versus State of Punjab, Supreme Court said that Section 438 IPC, which is with respect to the anticipatory bail, Supreme Court had clearly said that it should be interpreted in the light of Article 21 of the Constitution.
Okay.
Article 21. Article 21 of the Constitution guarantees the fundamental right to protection of life. And they say that, see, here is a person who is submitting himself to the jurisdiction. Might be a case, if at all, again, subject to the court's view, if it is a case where the court feels that it is politically motivated or the other reasoning given in the application, bail application, the court will have to consider it in the light of Article 21 of the Constitution.
I'm going to take a very quick break, Sumit and Dr. Singh, but I'm going to come right back because I also have questions where we want to get a clarity on whether the fact that this man has evaded summons and chosen to not appear for 33 days after he left India, is that going to have a bearing on how this case plays out, both at the SIT level and then in the courts? We're coming right back after this very short break. 1 hour to go for that flight to land. Stay with India Today's coverage. Come right back.
You are watching India Today.
बिहार के शहजादे अब आराम से जमानत अमानत जमानत अमानत उसका काम देखेंगे। कांग्रेस के शहजादे ने भी छुट्टियों की तैयारी शुरू कर दी है और एक यूपी के शहजादे भी हैं आपके बगल में। यूपी के शहजादे के तो शायद सदमा लग गया होगा और कल कह रहे थे कि बनारस में मोदी चुनाव हारने वाला है। अरे आप हंस क्यों रहे हो भाई? ये वो बोल रहे थे। इतना ही नहीं, वो इन्होंने ये भी कह दिया कि यूपी में 80 की 80 सीटें इंडी गठबंधन जीत रहा है और जो सुन रहे हैं उनकी पार्टी के लोग वो भी हंस रहे थे।
Weather forecast now. Delhi, maximum 47 and minimum 34 degrees. Mumbai, maximum 31 and minimum 29 degrees. Kolkata, maximum 36 and minimum 29 degrees. Bangalore, maximum 33 and minimum 22 degrees. Chennai, maximum 37 and minimum 30 degrees. Hyderabad, maximum 41 and minimum 29 degrees.
You are watching India Today.
Okay, just to remind our viewers that in just about an hour from now, Prajwal Revanna, the sitting MP from Karnataka's Hassan, will be landing in Bengaluru after a 9-hour flight from Munich in Germany, where he has been for the last 33 days, despite 3 rape FIRs against him. He's set to land in a short while from now at the Bengaluru International Airport. His aircraft is over Indian territory at this point and will be landing in Bengaluru in just under an hour from now. You can see that clock on your screen, and he will be arrested almost immediately after he emerges from the airport and taken to the Crime Investigation Department of the Bengaluru Police, where he will be further investigated on the charges against him. Anaga is live from the CID. We've got reporters like Shilpa, who is inside the airport, Nagarjun, who's tracking everything outside, and Sagai Raj as well. But I want to go to Anaga first. Anaga, 1 hour to go. Everything is ready. The bandobast is ready. The police is ready outside the airport. We could see quite a few cameras outside the airport as well, waiting at that apparent VIP exit from where Prajwal Revanna might actually be brought out. It's going to be a long night for the agencies, especially where you're standing, Anaga.
Well, that's right, Shiv. You know, all the police constables over here, they've come here fully prepared that they are going to be pulling out 18-hour shifts starting from this, starting from this evening 9 p.m. and that will go on till tomorrow afternoon. And just a short while before, we saw ambulances also go inside the CID office just in case of emergency. So that's the kind of fully how well prepared the Karnataka police are to ensure that, from the airport to the CID office, this Prajwal, the accused that we are talking about, has a swift entry inside CID office without much law and order situation, without much, many protesters coming on the street. So all these things are being taken care of by the Karnataka police. But Shiv, I can tell you one thing for sure, the rage, the anger, the resentment against Prajwal Revanna is almost palpable. That's the kind of, intense emotions that we are seeing in Karnataka, be it in Hassan or be it in Bangalore. The women especially, Shiv, cutting across all party lines, forget politics, just the women from Hassan constituencies. They are the ones, this is something that just hits home for them. It could be their friend, it could be a Zilla Panchayat member. That's the Hassan woman that we are talking about, who held a Hassan Chalao protest today right in that constituency. Even if you took a look at those videos, it's the sheer monstrosity of it that gets everyone's goat. Nobody, Shiv, in their right state of mind would have done the kind of unspeakable things that the accused has done, as we could see in those videos that leaked. So we are waiting
Anaga,
for Prajwal.
when we look at the details of the FIR, it's really painful to hear some of the testimonies there. The FIR clearly says that Prajwal, like you mentioned, one of them was heckled and forced into getting into compromising position with him, allegedly with gunpoint. Like he's used a weapon to threaten and heckle the woman to succumb. But that said, there are several other complaints that claim that Prajwal Revanna, his father, H.D. Revanna, kidnapped a woman only so that they don't file an FIR. So this is a bigger worry here, that Prajwal Revanna returns. At this point, the witnesses and the victims, many of them who have had the courage to come forward and file the complaint, aren't safe, that they could be threatened, influence. They could use enough and more influence to change the minds of the victims or the witnesses. And this really can sabotage the proceedings of the case. That's the biggest fear, which was why the Hassan Chalo march was carried out today. And if we can see those protest visuals, the sheer crowds, swelling crowds all the way to Hassan, was really testimony to see the kind of angst that people have.
Well, Nabila, the most unfortunate part about this whole saga is that, they are economically weaker sections of the society that we are talking about. They are people who were domestic help, they were cooks. Some of the women were, in fact, women who sort of raised Prajwal Revanna from the time he was a 5-year-old boy. That's the kind of intense things that we are seeing in this case that unfold. All of them from economically weaker sections of the society. So it's very much a plausible case that the accused that we are talking about could have possibly used his money, his wealth, his political influence to sort of get what he wanted. That's the kind of allegation that we are talking about. To even give you a sense of what the accused is potentially capable of, one of the women in her complaint, she has mentioned that whenever his mother Bhavani was not around, he used to thrust himself on her from the back and punch her in the stomach. All these things when nobody was home, just his father Revanna and him. When it was just the father-son duo, that was when Prajwal Revanna unleashed his true avatar. He used to thrust himself on the women, without any hesitation, without any care in the world, and punch those women right in that sense.
No, hopefully, Anaga, these really terrifying things that you're relating to us, hopefully tonight will be the beginning of that process of justice for all of them. They are, most of them, terrified and silent. Most of them, cannot muster the courage to come out and even speak about this. The few who have risked everything to do so because of how dangerous things can actually get for them, especially in a place like Hassan in Karnataka, where Prajwal is the sitting MP. Nagarjun continues to be with us. Naga, at the airport, in Hassan, we've seen crowds welcoming, H.D. Revanna, the father of Prajwal, when he came out on bail. There was a lot of adulation. Obviously, this family enjoys its own sort of captive, support base at all. Are we going to see any Gowda muscle flexing outside the airport tonight or tomorrow?
Well, unlikely that whatever Revanna received, that Prajwal will also receive the same welcome, because this is also a sensitive case. Revanna was just a kidnap, but this is of rape, outrage to women, modesty 354 and 376 of IPC have been filed. And considering Deve Gowda himself is not supporting and he wrote a warning letter, the party cadres are in a catch-22 situation. Do we wait for the party high command to tell us to go maybe support Prajwal? And also individually, people don't want to get into it. If you travel to Hassan shift, most of the JDS workers there are saying that we are from Mandya, we are from Mysore, we are from Ramnagar. No one is willingly accepting on camera that they are from Hassan. That's the kind of stigma or taboo that has been attached, especially with Prajwal Revanna, the cases that has been going on and the cadres. So unlikely the cadres will show the support that Revanna received. Revanna just day before yesterday, after 20 days period, went back to Hole Narsipura, that is the hometown of Deve Gowda as well as Revanna. He received huge welcome from his supporters. He cried also. He went to temples. He's been visiting series of temples, including Dharmasthala. That whatever Revanna received, it is unlikely that Prajwal too will have the same warm welcome by his followers, considering the stigma involved in this case.
In that case, Prajwal Revanna has also gone absconding. H.D. Revanna was here, he faced these allegations, he's gone to jail, he's now out on bail. Prajwal Revanna, there's all the more that kind of anger against him because he just took off. There are a lot of questions as to who allowed him to go. He says that there was no complaint against me when I left to Germany because it was a pre-planned visit. Nagarjun, how believable is that? He claims that his visit to Germany was pre-planned and he decided to leave right after Hassan went to polls on the 26th of April. A day after, basically right after the video surfaced, he took off, and then a day later after he took off, an FIR was filed. So he says it's not my fault, I had a pre-planned visit.
That's absolutely true. His version is that this was a pre-planned visit and I had to leave Germany because there was an personal event that I have to go attend. There is what Prajwal's version is. But it is unlikely. None of the MPs who are the candidates who have contested, imagine his polling ends on 6 p.m. on April 26th. He packs his bags by 8 p.m. Hassan to Bengaluru airport distance is around 2.5 hours or 3 hours in traffic. He reaches there by 11 o'clock, boards the flight, and 1 o'clock is the takeoff. It is impossible to say that the MP or the candidate on the day of polling leaves his constituency and goes to Germany, not even out of the city, to completely out of the country. That's the sketchy part here, and also it breeds a sense of suspicious behavior of Prajwal here as well, because he knew the FIR was coming, he knew what the statements were coming out from the victims, and hence, based on the advice of his lawyers, Kumaraswamy in fact went on record to say that Prajwal, don't listen to the lawyers, come back, is what couple of days back that Kumaraswamy also requested Prajwal through the media to come back. This is definitely an idea or the suggestion given by the advocates of Prajwal, saying till things calm down and till we get an anticipatory bail, why don't you go out of the country, is what one can assume, because no other candidate or MP would have left the country on the day of polling. And what are the things that the MPs or the candidates would do? They would collect the Form 17, they would sit with their polling agents, they would sit with their booth workers and talk about what did they feel, what was the body language of the voters, what are the issues that they faced. More candidates will sit and talk about how much votes they would be getting. But here was Prajwal trying to pack his bags and trying to come to Bengaluru airport, and also boarded the flight in the last moment because he got late, is what we are told. So 11 p.m. he reaches the airport just 1.5 hours before the flight takeoff, clears immigration and flies on a diplomatic passport immediately to Munich.
Did you say that he boarded the flight late, Nagarjun? We know that he's booked himself a business class ticket. He, of course, comes from the Gowda family. This must be routine for him. But he's boarded the flight late. Is that what you said?
He didn't board the flight late, but he reached the airport on the last moment before the boarding gates were shut, is what we are told. When you and I, Nabila, when we go on an international trip, at least we reach the airport 2.5 hours, 3 hours before, because we have luggage check-in, we have immigration to be cleared. So we don't want to miss the flight. Considering this was the last moment, he had to rush to the airport, is what we are told.
18 minutes to go for that flight to land. The aircraft has entered Karnataka airspace and will be landing in just about 18 minutes from now. So the aircraft is in sight. All preparations are in place for the arrest of Prajwal Revanna as soon as flight LH764 lands in the Bengaluru International Airport in just moments from now. So we're going to be getting you live pictures. Train your focus on the right-hand side of your screen viewer. That's where India Today's cameras are currently situated. We've got cameras in other locations as well. As our team in Bengaluru has been telling us, there could be an attempt not to bring Prajwal Revanna out in front of the cameras tonight. There may be an opportunity perhaps tomorrow before he is produced before the SIT. But what we do know is that we are not leaving any chance to get you those pictures, because this is not about sensationalism. This is a story that the entire country has been following on India Today, courtesy our news break by our Bengaluru team at the time when Prajwal Revanna actually left the country, and now that he is coming back. Sagai, I want to quickly come to you before I get a legal perspective from our guest Sumit Chandar. Sagai, as soon as the arrest takes place and Prajwal Revanna is taken to the CID, tomorrow what happens? He will be produced, the interrogation will begin there tomorrow. Can you give us a sense of the composition of the team that will be interrogating him?
So if you notice that the SIT team will interrogate him, and talking about the procedure after his arrest, in all possibilities that he might be taken tonight to the hospital or tomorrow morning, and much before they could even produce in front of the judge, because as part of a procedure and the protocol, they have to produce Prajwal Revanna within 24 hours after his arrest has been shown on the papers. And before that, they have to take him for a medical test. That is possible either tonight or tomorrow morning. And they will go ahead and interrogate further with voice samples and audio samples, which they will collect from Prajwal Revanna, with the audio which is there in the viral video, which is there with them. So the FSL team will be at work. Interrogation will continue, where they will try to take the clarification from Prajwal Revanna with the statements that they have already gathered from the survivors who have filed an FIR against him.
Yeah.
So this is all part of investigation, which will start probably early morning tomorrow.
All right, so it's probably early morning tomorrow, but he is going to be taken straight into custody tonight itself. Is that the assurance that the Home Minister G. Parmeshwara has given? Here you're looking at Prajwal Revanna pointing fingers at the Congress government in Karnataka, saying that they're the ones responsible of trying to paint a picture about me. They are carrying out a smear campaign against me, etc. He's also applied for anticipatory bail. But yet, the Karnataka government has assured that he will be taken into custody soon as he lands. Do they have all their paperwork in place? We believe they have a warrant, but also a lookout notice has been sent out by the MEA, which means that the moment he lands, he is going to be taken straight into custody.
See, there is already a lookout notice and the blue corner notice against Prajwal Revanna, keeping all these things in the mind and the seriousness of 376, the rape charges against Prajwal Revanna. Not one case, there are 3 cases against him. So keeping all these things in the mind, the warrant has been issued and they will show the warrant to Prajwal Revanna, and immediately he will be arrested by the police at the immigration office. And what we also get to learn through Shilpa Nair, who is there at the airport, that there are already cops who are at the immigration office who are interacting with the officials about the procedure which will be followed once Prajwal Revanna reaches that particular office inside the airport.
I just want to get a legal perspective because it's getting late. Sumit Chandar continues to be with us for one final question. I thank you, Sumit, for being patient with us, but I did want to fit in this question. It's an important one. 33 days away, multiple summons have been, disregarded. And Prajwal Revanna has chosen not to present himself until he comes back today. So he's basically doing it on his own terms. Will this have a bearing, Sumit, legally speaking, when this case goes to court? The fact that he disregarded summons or disobeyed summons and failed to appear when he was summoned?
Yes, of course. All these factors will play a role in the mind of the judge while considering the anticipatory bail. Now, anticipatory bail at the time of deciding, it is also very clear that under section 438, that certain conditions have to be kept in mind in the mind of the judge also, with respect to, like I said, what is the nature of the offense, the gravity of the offense, and also the court can, at the time of giving the anticipatory bail, can give certain conditions. Now, what are those conditions as provided under section 438 CRPC? 1, a condition that a person shall make himself available for interrogation as and when the police officer calls for it. So he's at this stage seems to be cooperating with respect to that.
Okay.
The other condition that can be put by the court, that he shall not directly or indirectly make any inducement or threat or promise or anything to dissuade any witness from disclosing any such facts to the court. He should not, of course, be a flight risk.
Right.
So these conditions that can be further put by the court can impose even some special conditions as it may deem fit in considering the nature of the offense as is, and then give the bail or not give the bail is again a discretionary power which the court may or may not entertain when the application comes up before him.
Okay, very
Right. If I can ask you, Mr. Sumit Chandar, the fact that he's evaded arrest for 35 or 33 days now, precisely, does that now mean that all doors is closed for Prajwal Revanna in terms of getting bail at the earliest point? In a normal case, again, I know you've said it, in a normal case, a man who goes absconding for 33 days in rape cases, 3 of them, and one of them, a complainant says that she was heckled and forced with gunpoint. So ammunition used too. So in such a case, anticipatory bail, how long does it take for a person to achieve that?
If you are, like I said, first and foremost, in such cases, it's very rarest of the rare that a court would grant an anticipatory bail. That is one. Secondly, in this case, like you say, there is an absconding, a nature of absconding that has taken place. But that is also the reason why, at the time, the accused, before coming and submitting himself to the jurisdiction and interrogation before the police, has also made a statement that, see, this was pre-planned, and he's trying to give a background to it that this should not be considered as an act of absconding. So those are grounds which already has been taken by the accused in his anticipatory bail application. But now, of course, it is left to the discretion of the court whether they would consider this as an act of absconding, or they would just simply consider this as a pre-plan, not a pre-plan, I would say.
Well, the fact that Prajwal Revanna has been issued multiple summons, it's not like, and he was silent, mute, until the MEA issued a lookout notice, until the MEA gave a warning that if you do not respond within 10 days' time, then your diplomatic passport will be cancelled. And if he hadn't responded, then his diplomatic passport would have been cancelled. He would have had to go to the nearest embassy in Munich and get a one-way passport to come to India. And then he wouldn't have had a face to even ask for anticipatory bail. So it almost came to a point where he was pushed to the corner, and then finally he buckled. Of course, let's give India Today credit as well. Our team of reporters have been shedding the spotlight and pursuing this case very closely right from day one. So certainly the heat that's fallen on Prajwal Revanna, he's finally cracked. In fact, Shilpa Nair is at the airport itself, where he's going to be landing in just a few minutes from now. Shilpa, do we know if the flight's been delayed? Do we see additional security inside the airport? Give us what's behind you.
Well, yes, Nabila. In fact, we're constantly checking the flight update, and the status currently shows that his flight is still delayed. It will land around 12:54. So that is the time around which Prajwal Revanna's flight from Munich will land here at the Bengaluru International Airport. And as far as the airport, inside the airport, the activity that we see here is we did see a couple of officials come in, check the arrangements that have been made, and they've gone out once again. And outside the airport, of course, heavy barricading and a lot of security deployment being done as well. So once Prajwal Revanna's flight lands, of course, we can expect a lot of activity, because officials here are on high alert. They have come and they've checked the airport premises. A couple of officers, senior officers, were inside, monitoring the arrangements inside. So once his flight lands and once he crosses that immigration checkpoint, then of course the SIT might, of course, take him into custody and then take him to the SIT headquarters in Bengaluru. So that is what we're expecting. But as of now, it is just, everyone's just waiting for his flight to land. We are getting more details regarding his flight. The luggage belt and all of that has come in, the information regarding that. So we'll keep a very close eye on that flight of Prajwal Revanna, at what time it's going to land. And when he lands, of course, we'll try and catch a glimpse of him and at least put a question that, of course, is the priority. But as far as his flight is concerned, it will land around 12:54. It was supposed to come at around 12:30, but it got delayed a bit. But arrangements are being made. That is something that we can definitely notice here at the Bengaluru International Airport, both inside and outside. Arrangements are being made for Prajwal Revanna's return, because this, of course, marks a very important development in the entire investigation. Him coming back to the country, of course, will only help the investigation from now on, because there are so many things that the police, the SIT needs to do in terms of, interrogating Prajwal Revanna, taking him to the spot where some of these crimes have taken place, trying to match the audio, take his audio and match it to the audio that we can hear in some of these videos that have come out. So all of that will be done from here on. And for that reason, the SIT has left no stone unturned. All preparations are, kept ready as far as Prajwal's return is concerned.
Stay with me for a moment longer. We're getting clarity on that delay. It's a few minutes delay of that flight LH764 from Munich that will be landing in just a short while from now. Remember, the earlier landing time was 12:30. I want to quickly thank Sumit Chandar, advocate of the Supreme Court. Apologies, Sumit, for keeping you waiting there, but appreciate you joining us so late in the night, and our coverage definitely added to our understanding of how this case is actually going to play out. So wishing you a good night and thank you for being with our coverage. We're going to stay with our reporters tonight. Shilpa, Sagai, Naga and Anaga continued to be with us, but 24-minute delay is still what we're hearing right now. Shilpa is going to be adding to the information that we already have right now, but it doesn't look like it's going to be a major delay because the aircraft has already entered Karnataka airspace. We're told a few minutes ago it was over Shivamoga, which means the aircraft will be landing, maybe in the next 15 to 20 minutes. Sagai, tomorrow is going to be day one, basically, of this case because... Okay, the plane is over Tumkur, which means I'm guessing it's going to be landing in the next 10 minutes, right, Nabila?
Yeah.
10 minutes, Tumkur is right outside Bengaluru.
By road is barely 40 minutes from Bengaluru.
So 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Sagai, 10 minutes the aircraft is going to land, so everything's going to kick into action. What the SIT has been waiting 33 days for, finally they get to begin their work.
Probably big relief for SIT, but more trouble going to haunt Prajwal Revanna and Revanna's family after this particular arrest of Prajwal Revanna. Remember, it is going to be very crucial for the entire family, even for an anticipatory bail for Bhavani Revanna in this particular case, as well as anticipatory bail, which has already been applied by Prajwal Revanna. Remember, even SD Revanna is out on a bail. There is a sexual assault case against him, still a bailable offense. But the kidnap cases were quite serious in the nature, but still he got away with the bail. Even in the arguments inside the court, the special public prosecutor have categorically mentioned that a person who have these kind of clout, SD Revanna, getting a bail might be a major setback for the SIT investigation, where they can go ahead and influence the survivors who have already filed a complaint and who are willing to come forward and file a complaint. See, there are several videos which is doing rounds, which is allegedly belong to Prajwal Revanna. However, there are only 3 rape charges which has been registered against Prajwal Revanna. So there are many more outside.
I wouldn't call this only 3 rape charges. I would say 3 rape charges is quite a lot, Sagai. 3 rape charges among the number of victims, compared to the number of victims allegedly there are. Yes,
the kind of videos allegedly belonging to him which has been circulated. Number for 3 cases is quite less. So if at all those videos belonging to him, probably you might have got more than 100 cases by now.
Could that number go up? Sagai, could that number go up? Could more people come forward with rape charges?
It all depends upon the government, because government have not given any kind of assurance for all these survivors. They are just a lip service which is happening, whether it is a home minister or a chief minister or deputy chief minister. See, even when the videos were circulated much before the election, the FIR was registered only after the election got over. The Women Commission, which was aware about the videos which has been circulated, woken up only after the elections. And everything got in place only after the election, and the SIT was formed, everything after the election. So somewhere, people believe that they have given a free pass to him till the election got over. Probably they worried that Vokalika's vote might be a major setback to them targeting Deve Gowda's family in the state of Karnataka. So 3 rape charges is very serious in the nature. But the kind of videos which has been circulated, the kind of the victims who might have involved in this videos which is allegedly circulated in social media as well as mobiles. So probably 3 cases are very less. Probably there might be more cases which should be registered.
But 3 of the FIRs also came with great difficulty. It wasn't as if they came out and filed the FIRs immediately. It took a little while for the victims to come out. You say that this is lip service, but I do know that the SIT had assured the victims.
So Nabila, only 1 case was registered at the 376. Remember 2 other cases. First case was a sexual assault. After the interrogation, after the SIT showed that the survivor that even your videos are there, so you still claim that it is a sexual assault. Thereafter, she said, yes, even I was raped. And after the 3rd case was a kidnap case, which was being converted into a rape case after the interrogation done by SIT. Yes, SIT played a major role. There is a counseling, there is all kind of help that you get from the SIT. Whether that message has reached the survivors, the others who are still scared, who doesn't want to come out of that shell and come out and file a complaint against him. So message might be, see, this is sub judice. The SPP says that the message
a lot of these victims
to this person.
Yes, and Sagai, I'm sure you'd agree with me. A lot of these victims are from Hassan. And in Hassan, the Devegowda family has huge clout. There's really nothing above and beyond them. And it's very difficult, certainly for the victims to come out and show courage and file a complaint, because it's not just about their own lives, but the lives of their family members as well. Because many of the allegations made by those women are that Prajwal Revanna coaxed them into compromising positions, claiming that he would give better positions, better jobs, better promotions to their family members, their kin, the husband, or the ladies themselves. So this was what was said extensively, that you agree to what I'm asking for, and I will ensure that your husband gets a promotion, or I will ensure that your family does well in life. If you want a promotion, then you need to agree to what I want. This was the warning or the threat that was given by Prajwal Revanna, that if you don't do it, your family is finished off.
Absolutely. It is nothing less than your 90s and 80s movie where you have a Jamindar in that particular village, and he has a hold on the entire village. He rapes whomever he wants and he snatches whomever lands he wants. It's just like a old 80s and 90s movie. You get to see a villain acting exactly like him on ground. So probably that is the kind of scenario that you get to see. We spoke to one of the survivors' daughter who filed the first FIR, and she has told that, yes, if you don't come on a video call, I'm going to beat up your husband, I'm going to beat up your father, I will ensure that he doesn't get a job, he'll be removed from the work wherever he is working. And the other lady who went and asked for a room for a hostel for a student, he raped her at gunpoint and threatened that your husband is the main reason for her mother not to get a ticket in the previous assembly elections.
God. So, Sagai, if I could just interrupt you for the moment. Anaga is also joining us. I'm sure Anaga will be able to corroborate what I have to say here. Anaga, we believe there's a women's hostel which was built by the Devegowda family, and that hostel's manager was very close to Prajwal Revanna, and we believe there was a lot of involvement with Prajwal and many of the hostel girls as well. Is that true? These allegations have surfaced that young girls who had to stay in that hostel because of their economic status, they didn't have money to afford anything better. They were given housing at that hostel, but it was fully controlled by Prajwal Revanna. Give us more on these allegations.
Nabila, so far there has been no complaint that is solidly registered on these lines that you just narrated. Nothing on the hostel so far. No complaint so far has been registered against Prajwal Revanna. But of course, that could stem from the fact that how influential Prajwal Revanna is. So, it takes a lot for any victim, Nabila, to sort of put their step forward and register a complaint against Prajwal Revanna. Even, given the fact that elections are also there. So all these things, all these factors also come into play. And so far, the entire hostel hold that Prajwal has, that complaint has not been registered. In fact, what's more interesting is that even though, the daughters, even though Prajwal Revanna has allegedly on the video call flirted with the daughter of his domestic help, asked her to sort of strip and remove her clothes, sort of threatened her, blackmailed her into saying your father's job is under my control. So far, a lot of speculations are also rife that this daughter that we are talking about could be a minor. But so far, no POCSO case has been registered against Prajwal Revanna, and this girl's harassment that we are talking about, sections have not been registered in this case either. So a lot of murkier details are yet to unravel.
So the mother's complaint has been taken, but the daughter's complaint hasn't been taken. Is that what you're saying?
Could there be more people stepping forward now that the wheels of justice will begin to turn with Prajwal Revanna's arrest, Anaga? Is it likely that, women who were perhaps previously afraid to step forward, with him behind bars, there could be a possibility that they will feel secure enough to step forward, which means there could be more FIRs in the days ahead?
Well, Shiv, a lot of skeletons could tumble out once Prajwal Revanna comes here, and only if the government and all the politicians give enough moral support for the victims, supporting them to come forward, even assuring them, don't worry, even if Prajwal Revanna wins another election here, we will stand with you. Shiv, that's another interesting point.
Absolutely.
What if Prajwal Revanna wins? Will the victims who have come forward till now, take back their complaint? That could be another extremely sensitive issue to watch out vote for. So, a lot really depends on whether Prajwal Revanna wins this election. If he wins,
and he's
again,
almost definitely going to win the election.
Well, there's speculation now. Some say that Prajwal Revanna might just win with a narrow margin, because remember, the videos were leaked about a week before Hassan went into polling, or rather 4-5 days before Hassan went into polls. So how far did those videos make an impact? Did it reach the people, the actual voters who vote for the JDS, who vote for Prajwal Revanna? Something that we'll know only on the 4th of June. But remember that nothing escapes the law. Even if he wins the Hassan parliamentary seat, the parliamentary committee will take up this case. Of course, a solid case will be given to the parliamentary committee by the SIT, and we believe that there will be further follow-up and a quick expulsion, suspension or expulsion.
And if he's convicted, he loses his
evidence.
MPship anyway.
Exactly. And if he's taken into custody, and if he's proven guilty, then that's it. It's an end of his political career, at least.
Absolutely. 2019 is when Prajwal Revanna became an MP. He's just fought his re-election bid in 2024. And like Nabila said, it doesn't matter if he wins or not, because the law has caught up with him. And it is not for us to pass judgment. The accusers, the survivors of the things that Prajwal Revanna has done will be waiting and watching very closely to see and hope that the media spotlight, largely by India Today on this big story, will actually lead to justice being done on the ground. And that chapter begins in just a few minutes from now. I'm taking a very quick break. Nabila and I will be back after this break to bring you live coverage of the arrival of Prajwal Revanna in Bengaluru. That flight lands in just about 10 minutes from now. Stay with us.
You are watching India Today.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
You are watching India Today.
Rape-accused Karnataka JDS MP Prajwal Revanna is all set to land in India 33 days after he left the country under a cloud of allegations that now include 3 rape FIRs against him. He faces arrest. Let me show you where his Lufthansa flight currently is. Courtesy Flight Radar, these are live images of LH764, the flight straight from Munich. It's a 9-hour flight, as you can see. It's over the Arabian Sea. In about 20 minutes, it will be over the Indian peninsula, and then will be landing in Bengaluru in about 1 hour and 18 minutes from now is when he will be landing in Bengaluru. So live images of that radar track of that aircraft. The reason why it's important for us to show you this is because until this morning, viewer, there was no confirmation that Prajwal was heading back to India and on which flight. India Today reported it to you first. We were the first to show you the details of his boarding pass without the personal details, and now we've got a confirmation. DL H764 Lufthansa flight from Munich is going to be landing in 1 hour and 18 minutes from now. Nabila, 33 days later, and finally an image of that inbound aircraft.
And he's en route finally to Bengaluru. He made that commitment through that video bite that he released himself. And I'd say it's quite shameful that he decided to stay away from the investigation, evade it for nearly 33 days now, and finally has agreed to come down when he realized that there was no escape. The MEA, remember, has given a warning that if he does not come back or respond, then his diplomatic passport will be cancelled. Prajwal Revanna is currently flying from Munich to Bengaluru. Security, of course, across Bengaluru airport has been beefed up. Will Prajwal Revanna be arrested? That's the big question. Of course, the Home Minister of Karnataka, G. Parmeshwara, and the SIT team are stern that he will be taken into custody the moment he lands. But remember here, he is a member of parliament. He currently is the incumbent MP of Hassan, and at this point, he does have special privileges, but at the same time, the Interpol has been informed that he has a notice and a warrant against him. So the moment he lands, it's very likely that they will escort him out to the VIP exit and straight to the CID.
All the agencies.
Shilpa Nair is also with us, Shiv. She's right there at the airport. Shilpa brings us those images right from inside the airport. She's tracking Prajwal Revanna's movements closely. We believe, Shilpa, that Prajwal's flight has delayed a bit. Do give us more clarity on that.
Well, yes, Nabila. In fact, Prajwal's flight has been delayed. It is expected to now land around 12:57. That is the time that we are expecting as far as Prajwal's flight is concerned. But as far as this investigation is concerned, this is probably the biggest and most important point, because remember, SIT was constituted by the Karnataka government to probe this case, and until now, they've been, of course, writing letter after letter, to ensure that Prajwal comes back to the country, because the investigation cannot really go forward unless Prajwal is interrogated, unless more evidence, of course, is gathered. They need to match the audio of Prajwal with the audio that is heard in the videos that have come out. So all of that needs to be done, and all of that can be done only once Prajwal comes back. So that is the reason why today, of course, marks a very crucial day in terms of the investigation into these sexual abuse cases. Prajwal's flight, of course, will land in a short while from now. As of now, inside the airport, the scenes are quite empty, but outside there's a lot of activity. We are seeing a lot of barricading being done by the police, several police officials also present outside to ensure that things remain under control. And in all likelihood, Prajwal will be arrested the minute he clears his immigration and comes out, because there is, of course, an arrest warrant against his name. So the minute he lands and he clears that immigration checkpoint, he will be taken into custody by the SIT, and he'll be taken to
Shilpa,
the SIT.
would we know if there are additional security forces inside waiting for Prajwal? Have you spotted any beefed up security measures that they're taken inside the airport as well?
Well, inside, as of now, we're not able to see much of an activity. Probably they're waiting for the flight to land, or just a short while before that, we can expect some activity inside the airport. But outside, of course, there's a lot of barricading. The security presence, of course, has been heightened there as well. Our video journalist is sending us constant visuals from outside the airport, where minute by minute things are changing. There's a lot of media personnel also outside, because there's, of course, a lot of curiosity. Everyone in Karnataka has been following this case very, very closely, and this marks an important development. Prajwal's return to Karnataka marks a very important development as far as this case is concerned. So that is the reason why a lot of people are waiting outside the airport, and there's a lot of police presence there as well. But inside, for now, we don't see much of an activity. But once he lands, of course, we will try and get those visuals of him being taken into custody by the SIT.
Shilpa, was there any buzz, since you have the unique position of being inside the airport and reporting for us, which is something we value very much, is there buzz inside the airport that, someone like a Prajwal Revanna Okay, Lufthansa flight 764 is on final approach, and in just minutes from now, Prajwal Revanna will be landing in that aircraft at the Bengaluru International Airport. In bare minutes from now, the aircraft will arrive in Bengaluru, and the JDS MP accused of rape in 3 FIRs will finally be arrested by the Bengaluru police. Nabila, just few minutes from now, Shilpa also with us live.
There's really nothing and nowhere to hide now. He's going to be walking straight into the custody of the SIT, who has a warrant with them. And more importantly, the MEA giving out a lookout notice all the more emboldens the SIT, who are waiting for the centre's go-ahead. So the MEA itself has almost handed over Prajwal Revanna to the SIT pursuing this case. Shilpa Nair is right there at the Bengaluru Airport, Terminal 2. Shilpa, in just minutes from now, Prajwal Revanna, his flight is landing in the airport. We believe that it's just going to be landing at the park, moving towards the parking bay. And about 20 minutes, he's going to be taken into custody by the SIT. So there's no waiting time. Immigration will be smooth for him, thanks to the SIT officers who will be walking him out.
Well, that's right, Nabil. In fact, the SIT officers are armed with an arrest warrant against Prajwal Revanna, and for that reason, we are not expecting a lot of delay. Once his flight lands and once he comes out of the immigration checkpoint, then he'll probably be immediately taken into custody by the SIT. And I'm just going to show you the visuals of from inside the international airport. This is the luggage belt number 4, and this is according to the flight information that we've received from the Bengaluru airport. This is the luggage belt where Prajwal Revanna's luggage will be coming. So these are the visuals from inside the airport as of now. Not a lot of cops that one can spot at this point in time. Probably they're all waiting elsewhere. But outside the airport, there's a lot of activity. In fact, there's a heavy barricading and a lot of police presence outside the airport, the arrival gate where Prajwal Revanna would be taken out from the airport, and he'll straight be taken to the SIT headquarters in the city is what we're being told at this point in time. Nabil, the fact of the matter is, it's been over 30 days. It's been over a month since Prajwal Revanna left the country, and there are serious allegations, serious accusations that have come forward. At least 3 victims, 3 FIRs have been filed, and the details in those FIRs are horrific to say the least. And despite that, despite so much public outrage, it took Prajwal Revanna over a month to return to the country. He is a sitting MP, he is a leader of a political party, and despite that, it took him so many days to come out, return to the country. There was diplomatic pressure, there was pressure from his own party members, his own family members. Remember, Deve Gowda, his grandfather and the former Prime Minister, he himself had written a statement issuing a warning to Prajwal, asking him to return to the country at the earliest and face the law. Whether he's innocent or whether he's guilty, let the law prove that. Let the legal process take its own course.
And but the shameful aspect of this whole part is the law has not been allowed to take its own course for 33 days, and the law will be allowed to take its own course starting in the next 10 minutes. And ironically, it's happening at a time of Prajwal Revanna's choosing. This is something we cannot ignore. This is the VIP privilege and the long rope that he's been given. It's landed. The aircraft is landed.
Prajwal Revanna has finally landed into Bengaluru. The much-awaited flight from Munich to Bengaluru finally makes its landing precisely at 12:47 a.m. Prajwal Revanna back to Bengaluru 33 days later after he's evaded arrest. He's finally buckled. India Today has kept its spotlight on this story right from the start. Day 1 when he went absconding to today, we've really added that pressure to ensure Prajwal Revanna's return. He's now going to be taken by the SIT into custody. Straight will be out to the CID's office. We'll be spending a night at the CID's office, and tomorrow morning, the interrogation by the SIT begins. He will be taken in subsequently for a medical test and then to court, which will finally decide whether he remains in custody of the SIT and for how long. Big update coming in there as Prajwal Revanna has just landed. The flight has landed at the Bengaluru Terminal 2. We also have our reporters Shilpa Nair, who's right inside. If Shilpa, you can take us through the board there of all information on flights that have landed. Has Prajwal Revanna's Lufthansa flight all the way from Munich to Bengaluru landed? Please confirm.
Nabila, there's no flight information board kept here where I'm standing as of now, but we are expecting that information to reflect at this luggage bill, because according to the flight information from the Bengaluru airport, it is luggage belt number 4 where Prajwal Revanna's luggage would come. But there's a lot of other international flights that have also landed. So there's a lot of passengers that you can see at the international side of this particular airport, and many international passengers making their way out. So once the flight lands, of course, it takes some time for Prajwal to come out of that flight and then, of course, clear some of these immigration processes. So it will, of course, take at least 10 to 15 more minutes for him to actually come to
So
this
the fact
side
that he's
of
landed
the airport.
itself is a start now for SIT with a warrant, who's waiting for Prajwal Revanna to exit. Never could he have imagined in his wildest of dreams he'd be facing a situation like this, or he may have anticipated, Shiv. Prajwal Revanna may have been worrying for the last 33 days what's going to happen to him the moment he lands. He may have thought that his family pull in power might just help him get away on bail, at least for a little while, and then maybe the legal course could continue while he's out and free.
Absolutely.
But doesn't seem like the SIT has left any room for his exit here. They are waiting with a warrant.
And the very fact that he stayed away from the country, disregarding summons all this while, has obviously had a bearing on that anticipatory bail being rejected by the court. But we don't know what's going to happen going forward. He certainly comes from a family that is able to afford the best lawyers. He's entitled to a legal defense, but he faces 3 rape cases. Sagai, the flight has landed in the next few minutes. The arrest of Prajwal Revanna will be made. Are you hearing from your sources any apprehensions of any last-minute glitches of any kind, as he is taken from the aircraft, arrested and then taken to the CID, or is it likely to be very smooth now?
The special investigation team is waiting for close to 33 days, and they're all set. There are no glitches with the documents, with the evidence and everything. They have everything in their hand, because there are multiple notices which have been issued. In one of the notices, he said that he will be reporting in 7 days, and even he failed that. That was been not entertained by SIT even at that point of time, but still he didn't keep up his promises, and the notices were not responded by Prajwal Revanna, and blue corner notice against him, a warrant against him, and 3 rape charges. It is quite imminent that this person cannot get away with any kind of glitches.
All right. From what we see here, it's confirmed that Prajwal Revanna's flight has landed from Munich to Bengaluru. It's landed exactly at 12:47 a.m. So just a few minutes earlier. The flight Lufthansa LH764. That's where Prajwal Revanna has booked his business class seat, and he's managed to reach Bengaluru finally after 33 days of absconding. Anaga is where the CID office is. So Prajwal Revanna is going to be brought by the SIT officers straight to the CID office, where he will be spending the night. Anaga, any provisions that have been made or laid out for the VIP Prajwal Revanna to be arriving there? What kind of facilities are usually arranged for an inmate like Prajwal Revanna at the CID office? Is it a cell? Is it just an office? Does he get a bed to sleep tonight? Give us more clarity.
Well, Nabila, that's the kind of VVIP treatment that we're talking about. Right in the, right in the CID office, there is sufficient facilities for VVIPs to come. There are nice beds laid out. There is washroom service, a cafeteria, sufficient food and other amenities will also be provided to the accused, who is also a parliamentarian. Prajwal Revanna will be brought to the CID office with, right here in CID office in zero traffic. So from the airport to here, which is about 15 kilometers, Prajwal Revanna will be brought here, and right here, as my camera person is showing you, there is sufficient police deployment. There are police convoys stationed right outside, and right inside the building, as my camera person is just showing you, sufficient cops are there waiting for Prajwal Revanna to come here from airport. Of course, once he comes here, he'll be taken right inside. Whether Prajwal Revanna will be interrogated throughout the night, or will he be allowed to rest and the interrogation will it start tomorrow morning, that's entirely left to the discretion of the investigating officer. But what we know so far is that arrangements have been made for Prajwal Revanna to come and stay here and spend the night. But when the interrogation will happen is it's just left to the discretion of the investigation officer. But tomorrow morning, as we are told, is when the medical checkup will happen. However, there is the possibility that right from airport, he will be taken to Boring Hospital. So there are two scenarios that could possibly play out here. All these things we'll know in just few minutes from now when Prajwal Revanna gets arrested and when he's brought out of the airport.
Right. Shiv, make no mistake, Prajwal Revanna, like you rightly said, has had access to the best of lawyers, and as much as we think that he's not been in contact with anyone, none of the family members know the whereabouts of Prajwal Revanna all through the 33 days, he's clearly been conversing with his lawyers.
They even issued a statement in the first couple of days, I think.
They issued a statement. How else will they file for anticipatory bail?
Correct.
Without actually having been in touch with Prajwal Revanna, it's impossible for their lawyers to go to court and file an anticipatory bail on behalf of him. So he is the one testifying. He is in touch with the lawyers. He's had a great conversation with them for 33 days. Be sure he's mighty prepared to be facing this investigation.
He's prepared to face this investigation, which is an important point and something which I want to repeat over and over again. He's coming back at a time of his choosing, and that screams VIP privilege like nothing else. He's coming back not when the SIT wanted him, not once, not twice, but 3 times that summons have been taken. Blue collar notices have been issued. Interpol has almost been brought into the play. It was only after the External Affairs Ministry kicked into action, issued a show cause notice, that Prajwal Revanna is finally now back in Bengaluru, back in Karnataka to face justice. So no matter what happens starting the next few minutes after he gets arrested, the fact is Prajwal Revanna has demonstrated that for 33 days he has had his way, he has evaded the law, he has disregarded and disobeyed summons, and he has cocked a snook at the law and order apparatus of Karnataka and India as a whole. So will that have a bearing in the case needs to be seen. Naga, Prajwal Revanna is someone not everyone was familiar with. Of course, all of us here on this show right now know exactly who he was, but we've got some reactions. I'll come back to you, Naga, in just a moment. Whose reactions are we getting? Let's just try and get some clarity on that and cut across to it. I'm guessing from the airport. Yeah, let's just. Okay, that's Mohammed Nalapad.
See, we have already been protesting, and we will protest until and unless the 100% what he has done for that crime, he has been punished. Thank you.
Okay, that was leader of the Congress party in Karnataka, Mohammed Nalapad, saying that justice will be done. Looks like there are some politicians at the airport, or could he just be there at the airport right now? Could there be?
Like I did mention, Mohammed Nalapad is the Youth Congress president in Karnataka for now. What we see here, the Congress, of course, trying to milk the situation. Like I did mention earlier, it's the JDS, which is an alliance with the BJP. They're an NDA unit in Karnataka right now. So this is possibly the best opportunity for the Congress now to target the BJP, saying that this is the tainted alliance that you have and these are the kind of people you're giving room to. And that's what they've been saying right from the start, that Prime Minister Modi campaigned for Prajwal Revanna, that there was such a push to ensure that there was campaign from the topmost leaders of the BJP, like the Prime Minister himself. So painting a picture that the NDA chooses candidates of such nature.
Absolutely.
So Congress, of course, milking the situation. Be sure that they're going to be launching a protest tomorrow as well.
So we'll see the Congress on the streets as well. What's it going to look like, Naga, tomorrow, out in Bengaluru? Are we going to see a lot of political flexing over this issue, or is it going to be the quiet turning of the wheels of justice at the CID office?
Absolutely not. It's going to be completely political. The Congress will milk it till June 4th as well, Shiv, to say that NDA MP, in fact, when the Chief Minister wrote the letter to the Prime Minister asking for Prajwal's passport cancellation, thrice in the letter he mentioned NDA candidate for the Lok Sabha, Prajwal Revanna. He didn't lose any chance to make sure that he pinpoints that Prajwal Revanna is an NDA candidate. We have already seen a lot of Congress spokesperson, MLAs, ministers saying that why did Prime Minister share the stage with Prajwal Revanna when he knew that there was already a stay order on his videos, which means the BJP was kept in a loop, and also the whole Devaraje Gowda angle, where he had written in his letter to Vijayendra here and also the High Command in Delhi. It is going to be a political slugfest tomorrow. The BJPs will take a moral high ground that the law will take its own course, but the Congress will go all hammers at the NDA alliance here in Karnataka, considering the results are just a couple of days away, and this will be tomorrow a political slugfest. Make sure that 225 MLAs will have an opinion tomorrow here in Karnataka, and they'll be more than happy to speak on this, except for Revanna and his family. Everyone else will be having their own opinions.
And no one can fault the Congress party for wanting to milk this. This is after all election season. There's one phase to go, and even beyond the election, the political messaging from everything that we've reported over the last over a month and a half on this case means that the Congress cannot be faulted for milking this. It won't really matter, of course. The nitty-gritties and the details of this case won't matter. The fact that, the JDS used to be in partnership with the Congress earlier and in government. Many of these alleged crimes or videos date back to a time, from when the JDS was with the Congress, or even before Prajwal Revanna was an MP. But like Naga explained, none of that is going to matter in the here and now, because at this point of time, when these videos came out, when these charges were framed, nobody can go up against the fact that the JDS is in partnership with the BJP. It's a part of the NDA. Campaigning took place for this JDS MP in this particular election, and that is all that's going to matter. The
but
details.
Shiv, to be honest, a case like this, one can't blame any politician.
No, but
in fact, every political party. Let's not even begin with the number of perpetrators who are there in each party.
True.
So politics.
But it's all about perception this time.
It is perception, undoubtedly. That's because it's a poll season.
Yeah.
We are in the midst of elections. We're in the last phase. Counting is on the 4th. So this is a hot political topic for the opposition to target the NDA. But clearly, if we look at the situation objectively, no doubt that no politician can be attached to something like this. Nobody will encourage something like this. I'm sure the BJP or the Prime Minister had no idea the gravity of the allegations that were against Prajwal Revanna, and law is taking its course. It's not like anyone slacked here. SIT was formed with immediate effect. Information went to the center cracked down. The MEA has reacted, though the Congress claims it was delayed.
But there are questions.
A lookout notice has been sent out. What more can be done?
But
the due process of law is being followed.
True. Nabila, I agree with you, but still 33 days. I want to repeat that once again. It's still 33 days since this guy left, and nobody was able to bring him back.
Suresh MP.
Reactions coming in.
ಅವರು SIT ಮುಂದೆ ಹಾಜರಾಗ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ.
ಒಂದು ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಸರ್, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ರಾಜಕೀಯ ಷಡ್ಯಂತ್ರ ಇದು ನನ್ನ ಮೇಲೆ ಆಗ್ತಿರೋದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್.
ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅವರೇ ಉತ್ತರ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಜನ ಇಡೀ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರದ ಜನ ನೋಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಷಡ್ಯಂತ್ರದ ವಿಚಾರ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಸ್ವಯಂಕೃತ ಅಪರಾಧ.
ಸೊ 33 ದಿನ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ
The law is taking its course. He can say whatever conspiracy etc. But the legal
ತನಿಖೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ.
team,
ತನಿಖೆ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ
the SIT team will investigate, and we can speak further only after investigation completes. But that's DK Suresh, who's an MP himself, Bengaluru Rural, and he's looking to secure that seat yet again this time. He's also the brother of Deputy Chief Minister DK Shiv Kumar, and we know
Prajwal Revanna particularly mentions Rahul Gandhi name.
No, there is no Rahul Gandhi involvement here. Whatever he has done, for that the entire nation, entire world is watched that issues. So on that issue, Rahul Gandhi has commented. That's it, nothing else.
Today's Prajwal Revanna is coming here.
I don't want to comment anything on that issue. He has to attend he's already mentioned he's attending SIT tomorrow. The SIT will take care of that.
Okay, that's DK Suresh, who particularly answered on the question where Prajwal Revanna had directed the blame towards the Congress for tarnishing his image to try and to carry out a smear campaign against him. And in that video that he spoke, Prajwal Revanna, that he released just a few days ago, he also mentioned Rahul Gandhi in that video message, where he says Rahul Gandhi has also picked up the issue and made it a campaign issue. While speaking in campaigns, he's referring to it. So this is clearly the Congress's smear campaign against me to gain brownie points over the BJP. This is Prajwal Revanna very cleverly charting his words and speaking in that video. Clearly may have consulted with his legal team, a band of legal team, before he actually released that video and said what he said. So very well prepared. He knows what to say. Of course, like you said, we can't pass judgments before the investigation is over. But let's also remember there are hundreds of victims who are awaiting justice and feel threatened by this man who comes from a big, powerful political family.
It's going to be also interesting to see whether justice plays out correctly. Remember, all of us are aware as we report this story that, the next few days are going to be fixed on election results, the exit poll and the election results. And people might be wondering whether, the media's gaze will be distracted from what's happening at the CID. I can promise you here, with our Bengaluru team on the story, we will not let you miss a single moment of it. So media pressure, if that's something you're worried about, that will not be evaporating on this story. I want to quickly go across to Sagai, who's still with us. Sagai and Naga continue to... Okay, Anaga is still with us. Anaga, any minute now the arrest will take place. We've got live images from the Bengaluru airport of officials who I imagine are on their way to effect the arrest of Prajwal Revanna. They will be coming to you. Anaga, I'm coming to you in just a moment. I apologize. Mohammed Nalapad, the president of the Youth Congress in Karnataka, has just spoken. Let's just listen into what he said. Let me quickly play that out.
The program of Shri Prajwal Revanna to go outside India is sponsored by BJP. On the day of 26th after polling, he was sent immediately with a diplomatic passport outside. And today, after all the phase election is over, it has come. Because last 10 days, if he would have come, in the media you would have showed his activity, where he's gone, when he's arrested, all the space would be taken away. That is why the BJP, Narendra Modi ji, Amit Shah ji, our Yediyurappa ji and our Vijendra ji all planned together and sent Prajwal Revanna outside. In which house, without telling your family, you will go? But actually saying, to do such kind of thing is not belong to any family, is a useless fellow.
Anaga is at the CID where Prajwal Revanna is going to be brought, I'm guessing in about an hour from now. Anaga, special arrangements there in terms of security, have any crowds formed or anything, or it's too late in the night, all that will only take place tomorrow?
Well, Shiv, that will, of course, take place tomorrow. That's exactly when Prajwal will be here, right in the CID office. That's when we're expecting a lot of movement, be it the women, the farmers, the women of Hassan. So we are expecting a lot of action to happen tomorrow. But for now, we have very tight police security over here. There are 3 police vans, that are stationed over here just in case there's any sort of law and order situation. So the Karnataka police are fully well prepared for anything that's worse. But here, Shiv, I want to point out 2 interesting scenarios. One is one is H.D. Kumaraswamy's family and the other one is H.D. Revanna family. While Revanna family did the entire temple run, counting their stars and praying, but his brother H.D. Kumaraswamy has gone off to Kabini Resort the same day that his nephew Prajwal was landing in Bangalore. He and his family, his son Nikhil, his wife and kids, all of them, they've gone to holiday at a resort in Kabini without any notice. So I just wanted to put that out there, that H.D. Kumaraswamy is out there vacationing at a resort, while his brother H.D. Revanna doing all the sorts of temple run that he could. Tomorrow is the bail hearing of of his wife Bhavani Revanna, and tomorrow is also the day when the SIT is hearing with the High Court as to quashing of Revanna's bail. So these 2 very crucial hearings are also slated to happen tomorrow. So a very big day, Shiv, for the Revanna family, a very decisive day that could sort of decide all 3 of them, mother, father, son. The future of the trio will possibly be decided tomorrow.
Anaga, stay with me. I just want to show our viewers these live pictures coming in from the Bengaluru airport. Behind that Japan Airlines, next to that Japan Airlines Boeing 787, you can see the blue fin of the Lufthansa flight. That blue fin with the swan logo, that's the Lufthansa flight that's just landed with Prajwal Revanna on board. Officials are on their way, to the bay where Prajwal Revanna, who's travelled on a business class ticket, will be emerging from the aircraft shortly. I'm guessing the arrest will take place outside the aircraft, not in it. So once Prajwal Revanna emerges, immediately he will be arrested. There will be some formalities at the airport and then he will be taken straight to the CID. There's a lot of media outside waiting for what they're hoping will be first images of Prajwal Revanna as he... Okay, we're getting some first images of Prajwal Revanna. at the airport, which we're going to be putting on our screen in just a moment. Images just in. Viewer, give us just 30 seconds. We've got first images of Prajwal Revanna as he gets to the baggage conveyor belt. He's in a grey sweatshirt. Those images are going to be on your screen in just a moment from now.
All right, Prajwal Revanna has just been escorted out. That's the big information that we get here. Central Forces who are right now inside the Bengaluru Airport Terminal 2. Those are the visuals that you see there. Prajwal Revanna in a grey t-shirt who's just exited the flight, and he's been taken by the Central Forces. He's going to be taken out by the SIT team straight to the CID office. India Today gives you these first images. Our correspondent Shilpa Nair is at the airport itself inside the Bengaluru Terminal 2, where she brings us these exclusive images of Prajwal Revanna in a grey t-shirt with Central Forces escorting him out. Not a moment's delay. In fact, immigration is going to be super smooth, considering that Prajwal Revanna, there's a lookout notice against him by the MEA itself. So without any further ado, Prajwal Revanna has been moved out, quickly whisked away by the Central Forces towards the exit point. These are images, live images coming in of Prajwal Revanna at the Bengaluru airport. Not a moment's delay. He's been taken in by the Central Forces, escorted out. This is nothing short of an arrest. We could safely say that Prajwal Revanna has been arrested and he's now been taken by the Central Forces, being exited at the Terminal 2 airport of Bengaluru through the VIP section is what we believe. He will be taken straight to the CID office, where he will be spending a night, and the next morning interrogation begins by the SIT teams.
First images taken by India Today's Shilpa Nair inside the airport, the only channel with images of JDS MP Prajwal Revanna as he is taken by the security agencies out of the aircraft to his luggage belt, and then from the exit where he will be taken straight to the CID. That is Prajwal Revanna in the grey sweatshirt. You can see him there right in the middle as he is being escorted. He turns very briefly to look towards the camera as we film him. But Prajwal Revanna is now basically in the hands of the security agencies. There will be some very quick formalities. It will not take very long because the agencies know it's late at night. They want to finish it quickly and get him as fast as possible to the CID, where he will be spending his first night tonight before being produced before the special investigation team tomorrow. And then finally, he will be, the SIT interrogation will begin. There you have it. More images coming in, Nabila, of Prajwal Revanna as he's taken out.
That's it. And India Today gets it first. As always, we've been keeping the spotlight on the Prajwal Revanna case right from day one. And here's the first images, right, as he lands into Bengaluru after 33 days of absconding, looking fairly healthy in that sweatshirt. Prajwal Revanna claimed that he was depressed. He evaded arrest for 33 days, claiming that he was depressed and upset and wanted to keep himself isolated after seeing all that news that was flashed on television. Of course, he may have been very closely watching India Today, where we broke down the number of FIRs filed against him. We broke down the victims' testimonies, broke down the allegations that have been leveled against him of sexual assault, abuse, rape, threatening, using weapons to heckle and assault. Not just him, his father, his mother, both involved in sexual harassment cases. His mother in a case of kidnapping, his father in sexual harassment and kidnapping, and Prajwal Revanna on 3 accounts of rape. All 3 FIRs that accuse him of rape, with number of more victims who are yet waiting to come out and testify before the SIT. Now, Prajwal Revanna will be straight taken to the CID office, where he will be spending a night. He will be given a bed, a nice good toilet to use. Of course, will be given breakfast in the morning. Not too sure if he's had his meal on that business class seat there on that Lufthansa flight. It's quite a good meal on a business class, Shiv.
Very, very nice, comfortable 9-hour business class flight from Munich. We haven't had a single image of Prajwal on his 33-day jaunt in Germany, but I'm guessing it must have been pretty high luxury given who he is. But it's not going to be very comfortable going forward. He is, of course, going to be at the CID, where he will be given facilities. Remember, he is still under investigation right now. But he has been arrested, but we'll have to see what further steps are taken in terms of custody. Police custody, SIT custody, judicial custody would mean that he goes, I'm guessing, Nabila, to the Parapana Agrahara, the jail, once judicial custody happens and he becomes an under trial. But until then, he will be in the custody of the SIT.
Absolutely. In fact, the norm is that in the first 24 hours itself, he be produced before court. And before he's taken to court, there will be a medical test that will be done of him. And then he'll be taken to court and the court decides how many days will he be granted custody. The police, in fact, will be seeking custody for at least 15 days. Be sure of that, considering that he's been absconding for 33 days. Be sure that a minimum of 15 days custody is what the police will ask for. It remains to be seen what the special court eventually grants. I'm mentioning specifically the special court here because he is an MP. He's still an MP right now of Hassan. So he does have special privileges, and therefore it remains to be seen what the special court would grant. But what we see here very closely, Shiv, if you're looking at Prajwal Revanna, he's nicely shaved, got a good trim, 33 days of being in isolation. Clearly he's had access to a barber.
Well, among other things for certain, because 33 days is a long time. It's a full month, vacation that he's had over there. Remember, initially when Prajwal Revanna had left India, he had said this was a pre-planned trip. He said it was a private visit. This was under the media spotlight that had said that he was fleeing. But I think it is pretty clear to everyone what this trip was really all about because, Nabila, as you had reported also at that time, he exited just after polling took place in his particular seat in the second phase of this election. So it couldn't have been a coincidence that he was leaving just days after these videos had become public. First images of Prajwal Revanna there in that grey hoodie as he lands at the airport. He's now in the hands of the security agencies and will be taken to the CID. He will be produced in court tomorrow, which is the first step of what will be a number of steps before this case is blown wide open. Many more steps and many more legal recourses are available to him. But at this point of time, it's the first step, Nabila.
The legal recourse has already been established. His legal team has already appealed for
and the bail has been denied for starters.
It's not been denied. I think that announcement is yet to come, Shiv. But
no, it's been denied. We had that. The anticipatory bail was denied when it was applied for when he was in Germany.
Right. Okay, so what we know is that his luggage was supposed to be coming in belt 3. He clearly isn't the one picking that luggage up because he's been escorted out by the officials and the SIT team. We see the Karnataka police as well. You see the man in the khaki right next to Prajwal Revanna. He seems to be a senior officer of the Karnataka police. We know that the commissioner of Bengaluru itself is taking keen interest in ensuring law and order situation is maintained around the airport area while Prajwal Revanna is escorted. So he doesn't get access to his luggage. Here for a change for him, it's the cops who are investigating the case who will be picking up his luggage from belt number 3. So Prajwal Revanna need not have to go through immigration. He gets a free pass all the way to the exit to the CID office, unfortunately for him. But 33 days that he's gone absconding, he has a lot of answering to do, a lot of questions that he has to answer, but it appears that he seems, he could have been prepared by his lawyers in the 33 days. He may have had a conversation with them, and now, and that's what that video that he released also speaks of.
Yeah, and I just want to call out a certain Kannada channel that is stealing our exclusive images and pretending for these images to be their own. Your viewers are laughing at you. I want to tell that Kannada channel because they can see India Today exclusive on your screen. So please have some shame and some integrity. I don't want to take the channel's name, but everyone knows which channel it is. At least 2 channels have done this right now. So please have some ethics, some shame, some integrity. Please use your own visuals. We've planned our reporting of this story. So just want to put this out there. We see you. Your viewers see you. They're laughing at you. That's the reason nobody watches you. Okay, let's go back to our coverage. That's Prajwal Revanna in that grey hoodie as he makes his way out of the airport in the hands of those security agencies. He will be on his way very shortly to the CID where the process begins to turn. Now, his luggage, etc., we're not sure if he's going to be allowed to pick up his own luggage or he already has. But one thing is for sure, he is not going to be allowed out of the sight of the police and the security agencies that are escorting him right now. He's in their hands. He's been away for 33 days, evading them with impunity. He's back now, and they're not going to let him go. He's theirs now, as far as the special investigation team is concerned. I'm going to check on our reporters who are going to be with us. These exclusive images are by Shilpa Nair, India Today's Shilpa Nair, who happened to be the only reporter inside that airport, getting you these exclusive first images, something we take great pride in and clearly something that other channels have no problems in stealing. But Anaga is with us live from the CID office in Bengaluru, where, not very far from the Vidhan Sauda, where Prajwal Revanna will be taken very shortly. Is he already on his way? We've got these amazing first images, Anaga, on our screens of Prajwal from just a few minutes ago. But I understand that the processing must be over. It's possible that he will be leaving for the CID very shortly. What are you hearing?
Well, that's right, Shiv, and he's going to be coming here with absolutely zero traffic. So we're expecting that, from the time when Prajwal starts from airport, he's going to be here in less than 30 minutes, because that's all that it takes with zero traffic from airport to the spot where we are at. That's the CID office near Vidhan Sauda. It's just going to take half an hour for Prajwal to come. The moment he starts from airport, the security situation is also going to get tightened up. Ambulances have been deployed over here. The police security, the number of constables deployed here, they've also significantly risen in the last 20 minutes, Shiv. I just wanted to point that out, that apart from that, even in Boring Hospital as well, arrangements, we are being told, are also made for Prajwal Revanna's health checkup. It's only a matter of time before the accused, the rape accused that we're talking about, lands here in CID office for the further course of interrogation.
All right, so what we know here is that Prajwal Revanna's anticipatory bail hearing is also likely to be taking place tomorrow. Shiv, as what we know here, Sagai confirms to us that the last working hour tomorrow is when he will be produced before court, and also his anticipatory bail will be heard. So for now, it appears that they are waiting for the SIT team to give out a report in response to his bail plea, and the SIT will have to say why it should be cancelled. So the bail plea hearing of his anticipatory bail will be heard only tomorrow, as confirmed by Sagai Raj.
Okay. Confirmed by Sagai Raj that the anticipatory bail plea will only be heard tomorrow, but he will be produced in court. The SIT gets to do its first interrogation of Prajwal Revanna, starting potentially in just a few hours from now, but is likely to happen in earnest tomorrow. But live images on the left side of your screen, viewer, keep looking very carefully at those images, at that frame, because that is where Prajwal Revanna is expected to be brought out from. This is one protocol exit of the Terminal 2 of Bengaluru. That's the new airport where this flight has landed. And in just a moment from now, you are likely to see Prajwal Revanna. Look out for him. He's wearing a grey hoodie. You can see that in those exclusive images that virtually every Kannada channel has shamelessly lifted from India Today and is running as their own. And we'll be getting it. We'll be getting that notified, of course, officially in just a few hours from now. For now, we're focusing on our coverage. Prajwal going to be emerging from there. Nabila, this looks like the protocol exit of the airport.
Yeah, this is the protocol exit of the airport, and remember, this is a new airport. So you have added security measures there. It's a smooth way for the main gate and the VIP gate here. It's a much smaller window for the VIPs to get out, but it appears they'll be going out without any hurdle, without a public gathering outside. So they can skip all that commotion that's happening right outside the airport. But I would assume that there could be enough and more drama and shosha by the Karnataka government at this point, who are really eager to show that they've arrested Prajwal Revanna. Remember today, what we saw earlier today in the morning, nearly 10,000 people, civic bodies, people from different backgrounds, activists who came to Hassan, all the way marched to Hassan, condemning what has happened and asking for Prajwal Revanna's arrest with immediate effect. Yeah. So to sort of pacify that kind of emotion and the angst that public have at large, I wouldn't be surprised if they make this a public spectacle, his arrest.
Likely to be a public spectacle, given that it's a Congress government in Karnataka, given the amount of political capital that's already been poured into this issue, justifiably so during this election. Will it be that Prajwal Revanna will practically be paraded in front of the media? I wouldn't be surprised, Nabila, frankly, if that actually happens, given that this is, it doesn't get bigger than this. A sitting MP, next generation MP from the big political dynasty of Karnataka, it really doesn't get more politically hot and politically contentious than this. So nobody's going to fault the Congress for actually doing this. We're trying to get clarity over whether the arrest has already been made, whether he has been taken into custody right now. We'll get a quick clarification on that as well.
Shiv,
Anaga's with
but
us.
sorry.
Yeah.
But just before we go to Anaga, what I do know is that the fact that the SIT team and the cops have gone straight in the moment he gets out of the flight. The moment he steps out, he's taken into custody. His passport is taken into their hand. They give him a warrant right there when he steps out of the flight.
So in these pictures, he's actually under arrest.
Arrested.
Right.
Yes, ideally he's already arrested right after he exited the flight. They've checked his identity, taken his passport. He's now in custody already.
Okay, so he's in custody of the police right now and is expected to come. Those are live pictures on the left. Expected to emerge from that location. That's where all the media is. Whole bunch of channels which have been using India Today's visuals so far. Don't worry, be patient. In a couple of minutes from now, you'll get your own pictures of Prajwal Revanna as he comes out of that protocol exit of Terminal 2 of Bengaluru Airport. We're staying live. These are live images coming in from the Bengaluru Airport. India Today's reporters are on the ground at the airport as well. So these are live images from our cameras that we're bringing to you right now. Anaga, preparations taking place. We're seeing barricades being moved around outside the airport. An ambulance being positioned outside the CID office. There's a hustle and bustle taking place late tonight in preparation for the final arrival of Prajwal Revanna at the CID where you are right now.
Well, as Prajwal is just stepping out of the airport, the security situation over here, barricades, the number of barricades have also been significantly increased. Just moments back, we saw an entire canter being filled with barricades being brought up over here. Understandably so, because that's the extent of media pressure that's there. A lot of cameras are also brought up over here. A lot of police constables are deployed to ensure that when Prajwal comes here, there's no gherav assaults or that, nobody tries to jump on the vehicle or stop the vehicle from moving forward. So all the police officials here are deployed to pull that 18-hour shift. It's going to go on till tomorrow afternoon. Nobody is even allowed to break until Prajwal comes here and he's escorted to his room inside the CID office. Everything is going to work like clockwork. The police deployment is also going to significantly go up. As you can see, more and more barricades are being brought in. That kind of explains the fear for the law and order situation that could any moment go for a toss. So the entire Karnataka police officials, they are here upon the instructions of Bengaluru Police Commissioner B. Dayanand that, everybody comes here, pulls off their shift to ensure that law and order shift, that's the most important part, is maintained, because that's the level of resentment and rage that is pent up against Prajwal Revanna in the last 33 days. So keeping all these things in mind, everything is just working like clockwork here outside CID office.
And the political fallout of what happens will be seen tomorrow on the streets. We just heard from the Youth Congress president of the Congress party in Karnataka, and he also indicated there are likely to be protests tomorrow, but we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. For each day, Nabila, that Prajwal Revanna has stayed away, I think the political anger on the ground has only been exacerbated. It's been amplified, and now that's likely to break loose. We'll probably see that in the form of protests. They've been taking place in Hassan. Tomorrow they'll probably take place in Bengaluru as well.
What we know is that the SIT team right now is also mulling over cancelling his father, HD Revanna's bail as well. He's currently on bail on the case of kidnapping and sexual assault. So there's likelihood that the SIT will appeal for even his father's bail to be cancelled, and more trouble for his mother as well, because in that kidnapping case, his mother Bhavani has also been accused of threatening the lady and ensuring that she's taken away and kept in a farmhouse. And several notices that have been sent by the SIT to the mother Bhavani, she's not adhered to. Currently, she's not even traceable. So for the SIT, they're also on the lookout for Prajwal's mother. So the entire family right now has received a massive setback owing to this video leaks. But what's also interesting here is that there's no probe that has been initiated into the people who leaked these videos. There have been some people who were summoned and questioned with this regard, but really nothing substantial that's been done against those people who've leaked the videos and exposed the identities
and
of those
endangered
victims.
the victims.
It's endangered the victims, absolutely. Sagai could probably give us more inputs on that. Sagai, please establish for us how exactly are the SIT teams going to be taking forward this issue of leaking videos, exposing victims' identities?
See, the SIT has already arrested the people who initially circulated this particular video, but it is already out in there in the ground, especially on mobile phones, on laptops. Everybody have received, most of them have received this particular videos, but the SIT has already sent out a message saying that whoever is trying to circulate this video, they have a mechanism, they have a technology to find out and zero down on them, and they will take stringent action against all those people.
Yeah.
So after that particular message, the circulation of the video has been reduced, but still, it is still at the large. It is already there in the public. So we need to wait and watch how they are going to give assurance to the survivors, because I was talking to you earlier where I have mentioned that the government have not taken any kind of measure to give some kind of assurance to the survivor, how they're going to address their issue, how they're going to take care of them, if at all, if they come forward,
yes,
and register their complaint against the predators.
Naga, the arrest has taken place, it looks like. Prajwal Revanna is in custody basically now, heading towards the CID. Looks like it might be a quiet night before, you know, the big work, presenting him before a court, the anticipatory bail plea, etc., takes place tomorrow. What's tomorrow looking like in terms of the system's readiness? We've heard from, you know, people like DK Suresh, DK Shivakumar as well yesterday about all arrangements being made. Is everything ready for this now?
Well, Shiv, it seems like the visuals that we are looking at, you can see Karnataka police in the uniform escorting Prajwal Revanna, which seems like we can confirm that's an arrest. Unfortunately, I've not been able to make calls till now, because firstly it's 1:30 in the night. It would be unprofessional to call senior officers at this late in the night, and secondly we've been having a conversation here. But what we can make of the visuals is that Karnataka police have definitely taken him into their custody, because you can see them in the visuals that we have got. They have been escorting him near the luggage belt itself, which one can assume that he's been arrested. And secondly, tomorrow there's hearing for Prajwal Revanna's anticipatory bail. His mother's anticipatory bail order has been reserved, and also Revanna's petition in the High Court for quashing of the FIR will also be heard. The whole fate of Revanna and family will be decided in Karnataka court here in the High Court as well as the Sessions Court. Tomorrow, Prajwal most likely will be taken to Bowring Hospital or Victoria Government Hospital for a checkup. They will do his ECG, they'll take his BP, they'll take his body marks, they'll take all the parameters and vitals in the records, and then present him most likely in the evening in National Games Village in one of the magistrates or judges' residence, because by the time you finish all your procedures of medical and everything would take time, and the court would have been shut. So they might take him to one of the residents of the judges of the magistrate, which is in Koramangala here in Bengaluru, and then they will seek at least 14-day custody. They will have to take him to Hassan. They will have to take him to the MP quarters, farmhouses, Baswangadi house in Bengaluru, where many of the victims have said that the act of rape was done allegedly in these houses. So they have to take the accused to all these places, record the statements, and also circumstantial evidence matters. Because remember, Revanna himself, a few days back or weeks back when we interviewed him, he said that these are videos which were 4 to 5 years old, and this is a conspiracy. The father didn't say that this is a morphed video. It was only the son saying. The father did say these are all 4 to 5 years old video. What is the issue right now is what the father said.
So it was almost as if it was an admission by the father, H.D. Revanna, that these videos could be true, but it's not of now. It's years old. It's being pulled up right during election time to tarnish our image, but not a moment where the family members denied that the videos could be true, that they almost verified this to be legit. Isn't that true, Nagarjun? Not
Absolutely.
a word that these videos are morphed.
Absolutely. When Prajwal himself has put out a petition in the prayer in the Sessions Court saying that these evidences and these videos are morphed, while there is a statement of the father himself saying that in Kannada, saying that it's 4 to 5 year old video. What is new about it? Why are you making issue now? And this is political conspiracy because the elections are happening in Karnataka right now. The father didn't deny it that these are morphed videos. He did agree that these videos were shot and 4-5 years back. But nevertheless, so he will have to go through the procedure of Mazhar, what we call here in police terms, that the accused will be taken to all the place where the crime has occurred. So he will have to recognize along with the victims. Victims will also say, this is the room that we entered. This is where he threatened me. This is where the gun was kept. In one of the FIRs, the victim clearly mentioned that Prajwal also took a weapon to threaten the life of the victim, and also threatened that your husband would be taken care, quote unquote, in the FIR as well. So all these places Prajwal will be taken. So they need minimum 14 days to take him, is what we are being told.
Shilpa, stay with me, Naga. Shilpa, the journalist who got those first and only images of Prajwal Revanna inside the airport being taken into custody, is with us live. Shilpa, first of all, amazing job. You know, this is what journalism of planning is about. You were able to be in there at the right point, at the right moment to get those images. You know, I've been tracking this on our groups, and it looks like the entire local and national media has been illegally trying to use our images and basically stealing. No matter how many times one says that these images are on India Today because of Shilpa Nair inside that airport. So first of all, congratulations to the team on getting us those pictures, because it's important for our viewers to see why we are broadcasting so late this evening. Tell us about how you got those images. He was brought out by the police, was taken to that luggage conveyor belt. How did those images happen, Shilpa? Explain that.
Well, Shiv, it was a matter of just few seconds. In fact, we saw a couple of officials walking in towards the luggage belt number 3, and that's you know, we had there was a transparent door through which we could see, and we saw these officials walking in, and we spotted Prajwal Revanna. However, the officials were you know, were not very happy with you know, visuals being taken, but nevertheless we managed to get those you know, couple of images of Prajwal Revanna inside, and he was immediately rushed out of that airport, or at least from that luggage belt area, by the officials. And we're currently at one of the exit points at the Bengaluru airport, and huge media presence here, everyone just waiting to catch a glimpse of Prajwal. But it's unclear as to whether the officials have taken him out from another exit, because we don't see any sort of police vehicle or elaborate arrangements in terms of, you know, transporting him to the SIT headquarters being made at this particular exit gate. So in all probability, he was taken out from another side because, you know, obviously the police did not want any kind of security issues. They wanted things to remain under control. Airport, of course, is a high security area, and with a lot of excitement or with a lot of curiosity, you know, with regards to this case, the officials probably wanted to make sure that things remained under control, and for that reason, they simply rushed him out. Even within the luggage belt area, it's just a matter of few seconds that he was brought in there, and he was just taken away by the officials. So we are awaiting a clarity on whether if he's still inside or has he been taken out. If he's been taken out, then in all likelihood he will be taken to the SIT headquarters. Right. In Bengaluru, where arrangements have been made. My colleague Anaga has been reporting from the SIT headquarters since evening today, giving us updates
Shilpa,
of the kind of...
we are going to pan to Anaga's cameras as well. That's where Prajwal Revanna is going to be taken to, the CID office, where he's going to be spending the night there. And then investigation will begin by the SIT officers tomorrow morning. Anaga, any word on the number of team members of the SIT who are currently inside the airport? We see some central forces inside the airport escorting Prajwal Revanna out. But while he was brought out, there were also some Karnataka police officers as well in the khaki uniform escorting Prajwal Revanna along with the other security forces. So members of the SIT team, are they there present at the airport right now, and how many of them?
Well, of course, Nabila, we do have SIT team deployment in the airport because, this entirely falls under their responsibility, headed by two women officers, I must say. One is Suman and the other one is Seema Latkar. So, the entire SIT team headed by two women officers of Karnataka, their team is present at the airport. Even, even in those airport visuals that our colleague Shilpa and I have put out, we can see about at least close to 20 men who are escorting Prajwal, to ensure that he is that absconder who had been absconding for 33 days, to ensure that all possible security measures are given for Prajwal Revanna, to ensure that he comes here and faces the music of the law, no matter what comes in the way, be it his political influence or money or power, or be it the fact that he is in alliance with the ruling dispensation. None of this is going to matter. As we can see, the police deployment is also tightening up. They're sort of deciding who should be stationed where, which team should be, standing in which location and how many men. So all these discussions are going on with the police constables right here outside CID office, signifying that any moment from now Prajwal Revanna could possibly depart, or even possibly he's on his way from the airport to the CID office. Full deployment is on. It's on full swing outside CID office to ensure that, most importantly, law and order situation outside CID office in Bengaluru is intact.
All right, so law and order situation right now seems all right with that kind of deployment, of course, and it's late to the night. One can only imagine what happens early tomorrow morning. India Today is going to be on relentless coverage. Be sure, 7 a.m. starting tomorrow. We're going to keep our lenses focused on the CID office, exactly where Anaga is currently standing, where Prajwal Revanna will be lodged. Is there any anticipation of protests outside the CID office? Do we know anything more on that, Anaga? If you can give us some clarity. Any organized protests? All right, we seem to have lost a connection, but clearly here we're going to expect some kind of commotion tomorrow, considering that there have been protests in Hassan today, large-scale protests, thousands of them wanting, largely women, activists, civic groups, Dalit groups, farmer groups. It's almost become like a real cause for the activist community in Karnataka
and
now.
Rightfully so.
Of course, rightfully so, to come out and slam this and ask for his immediate arrest. And that's what's happened. Without any further delay, right when he landed, the cops have taken him into custody. He is now going to be escorted outside towards the CID office, but we are still awaiting to see Prajwal Revanna being brought out of the airport. He's still inside. Shilpa, if you can confirm, is he still inside the airport? Do we know what he's doing? What formalities are currently being followed?
Well, Nabila, we are very, at this point, it's unclear whether he's still inside, but in all likelihood, he's been taken out. That is what we're being told, because several channels were here. They've also sort of moved out because, it's quite late in the night as well, and Prajwal Revanna landed, and we saw those visuals of the officials, along with him. So in all likelihood, he's been taken into custody, and the police officials, of course, wanted to ensure that things remained under control. Remember, there was a meeting that was called this evening. The Chief Minister, the Deputy Chief Minister, and top officials from the Karnataka Police, all of them had a meeting, because there is a lot of outrage amongst the public as well against Prajwal Revanna, the manner in which he left the country and refused to come back despite some of the serious accusations being leveled against him. So there's a lot of public outrage. Even today, there was a massive protest that we saw in Hassan. So in light of that, they did not want to take any sort of risk in terms of the security of Prajwal Revanna, and that is the reason why even when he was brought to the luggage belt, he was immediately rushed out. Within a matter of seconds, he was rushed out of that place, and the cops did not want any extra attention on him, and they just wanted this process to go on smoothly and ensure that he reaches the SIT headquarters, safely. That is something that they wanted to ensure, and from now on, the legal process will take over. Of course, we are waiting, official confirmation on whether he's been officially arrested. But nevertheless, considering the fact that officials were escorting him, we can safely say that he's been taken into custody. Remember, the SIT also has a warrant against Prajwal Revanna. So now, of course, we are awaiting for more updates to come from the SIT side. What will be the process? Will he be kept at the SIT headquarters all through the night, or will he be taken for a medical checkup, as is the procedure? When will he be produced before the judicial magistrate? All of this we'll, of course, have to wait for some more time to get clarity.
There was no legal team, no one from the family or anything who came to the airport, Shilpa, that you were able to see? It was just the police who came to get him and take him away?
Well, as far as what I saw,
Yeah.
Shiv, it was only Prajwal Revanna along with at least 15 to 20 officials. I did not see any other individual or family members or lawyers for that matter. But I'm sure the lawyers are taking, cognizance of what is happening and coordinating. Because remember, Prajwal Revanna has also moved an anticipatory bail petition, and that will also come up for hearing. And if at all Prajwal Revanna is arrested, of course, that plea becomes infructuous, and then the lawyer, the legal team of Prajwal will have to move for ordinary bail. So all of the, like I said before, the legal process takes on from now. This is the moment that the SIT was waiting for. In fact, for the victims, who've come forward, who've shown the courage to come forward and give those gory details to the police, these visuals will be reassuring, because now, of course, they will have a sense that at least there will be some, justice that will be served to them, and that is good news. We'll of course have to see how the investigation proceeds from now on, because we've seen in the past how Prajwal Revanna left the country immediately after these allegations surfaced against him. It's been over a month. Despite repeated requests, despite repeated summons, he did not, come back. And now that the elections are over, Prajwal Revanna has come out. He's reached Karnataka, and from now on, it is all, it's all on the side of the SIT. How they take this case forward, how they take this investigation forward.
A lot of it that Prajwal Revanna says is morphed, that it's fabricated, it's not true, etc. But at the same time, there's also a lot of the cacophony that we hear about the number of women that we see in those videos. A lot of them were consensual. That Prajwal Revanna is single, he's unmarried. Well, he's not entirely single. He is seeing someone, as far as I know. But the fact that he is unmarried, he's free to do as he wishes, and a lot of the women there have been with him consensually. That is one part of the narrative. Be sure, Shiv, that could also be used and presented in court.
Which will be used when he presents in front of SIT. Yeah.
It will be used in court that
the reality,
he's had connections with women and that's all consensual, etc. But the reality here comes down to the 3 FIRs. And it eventually comes down to the 3 FIRs that have been formally filed.
Absolutely.
And the case and investigation also will revolve largely around those 3 FIRs, unless there are more FIRs that come into play. And right now the focus is the 3 FIRs, 3 rape cases, and that's big.
And let's see if that number actually increases. Hopefully it will increase, given the number of potential victims that are reportedly out there. Hopefully they will feel a little stronger to actually come out. We're just updating our viewers that Prajwal Revanna has left the airport. He's with the police. He's on his way to the CID, where India Today's Anaga continues to be on a stakeout. Anaga, he's on his way finally. He landed a while ago. First images on India Today, and he's now on his way to the CID for his first night before justice in these cases against Prajwal Revanna actually begins. We saw quite a bit of commotion behind you earlier, just a few minutes ago, Anaga. Some police, some barricades, etc. Finally, they're getting ready for his arrival there.
Well, Shiv, I just had a word with one of the cops who are stationed here, and they just confirmed to us that Prajwal is indeed on his way, and it's going to take less than 20 minutes for him to come here outside CID office with that zero traffic. As my camera person is just showing you, they're all fully prepped up and they are ready as soon as Prajwal Revanna comes here. Of course, you can see one of the cops over there trying to stop this media attention. They are saying, take your cameras elsewhere. Do not block the road. Let the vehicle pass by, sort of implying that Prajwal Revanna's convoy will be here in about 20 minutes or so. 15 to 20 minute window is what we are looking at, Shiv. The entire police preparation over here, it's top notch. I can tell you, there are close to 60 police personnel over here who are deployed just for one wanted man who absconded for 33 whole days. There are 60 police officers over here waiting for Prajwal to come. Only when he comes here will we know that, will he be straight up taken to the CID office, or will he be taken to the hospital? All these things we'll know once Prajwal comes here. But before that, I just wanted to point out that, it's only from this day onwards that things get all the more interesting. Which side is the Karnataka government really going to take?
Absolutely.
Are they going to give more security for the victims, encourage them to come forward and give them the sort of moral support that they need to come forward? Because remember, Shiv, we have no idea how many women have been exploited in this case. So what the women of Karnataka, the Hassan women of Karnataka really need is moral support, encouragement, and most importantly, empathy from Karnataka government. And we'll only know from this day onwards, Shiv, if that will be provided to them or not.
And hopefully that, that precisely what you're talking about will actually begin now. This is a powerful family. This is a family, that has enjoyed a great amount of privilege. This is a family whose party happens to be, in partnership right now with the BJP, which is in, power at the center. There are many questions to be asked about the VIP long rope that was provided to Prajwal Revanna for 33 days without actually bringing him back. So all of that was going to have a bearing on the case as it begins tomorrow, Nabila.
I'm super sure that even the BJP, which is currently in power at the center, would not want a person with allegations of rape to be part of the party. And you can be rest assured, whichever government is in power will ensure that the victims there get justice. And the BJP currently in the center, I have complete faith, and they've said it time and again, looking at this in the most objective manner here, unbiased, that there will be the harshest punishment given to Prajwal, irrespective of which support or which alliance the JDS has and who they have with.
And we're going to be tracking the story very closely. We're bringing this broadcast, live broadcast, to an end. I'd like to thank Shilpa. Okay, before we end, we've got some images of Prajwal Revanna coming out of the airport. We've managed to get those pictures as well. There you go. Exclusive India Today images of Prajwal Revanna being brought out of the airport. He's, of course, currently on his way to the CID, but these are the first images of Prajwal in his grey hoodie being brought out of the airport, being put into a police car and taken away. So all the formalities are over. Those are those final images of him at the airport before he is taken away. You can see that silver Innova with a flashing light. That looks like the car in which Prajwal Revanna has been embarked before being taken to the CID office. So images from inside and outside the airport. The law now begins to take its own course, courtesy of the Special Investigation Team at the CID, which is a short distance away in Bengaluru. And that's it for our coverage tonight. From 11 p.m. till now, we've been bringing you live coverage. The first images of Prajwal Revanna. The next big update, viewer, will be at 7 a.m. Nabila and our entire team will be on the story overnight to give you all pictures that you might miss overnight as he reaches the CID. But 7 a.m. onwards, Nabila and I are signing out for now, is when our coverage continues. Thanks so much for watching. Good night.
Thank you.
You are watching India Today.
In politics, everyone has an opinion, but I have the data. Whose stock is rising? Whose graph is falling? Track India's political stock exchange. Unmatched, unmissable data analytics. The only show on News TV where numbers do the talking. India's most credible poll tracker. The Political Stock Exchange with Rahul Kanwal, only on India Today.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
Elections, the heartbeat of the world's largest democracy. Covered by the political journalist with nearly 4 decades of experience. The man who understands the pulse of the nation. Join India's ultimate newsman.
I will decode the complex political chess game that's at the heart of Indian democracy.
Elections Unlocked with Rajdeep Sardesai. Maximum analysis on the Maximum channel.
In politics, everyone has an opinion, but I have the data. Whose stock is rising? Whose graph is falling? Track India's political stock exchange. Unmatched, unmissable data analytics. The only show on News TV where numbers do the talking. India's most credible poll tracker. The Political Stock Exchange with Rahul Kamal only on India Today.
सिर्फ 26 जनवरी में परेड के लिए सेनाएं तैयार नहीं की जाती है। सेना लड़ाई के लिए तैयार की जाती है। दुश्मन के दांत खट्टे करने के लिए तैयार की जाती है। मां भारती की रक्षा के लिए तैयार की जाती है। लेकिन इन्होंने सेना को भी राजनीति का हथियार बना दिया है। इससे बड़ा पाप कोई नहीं कर सकता है। और मैं इंडिया अलायंस वालों को कह रहा हूं, मैं चुप बैठा हूं, इसका मतलब ये समझिए, गलती मत कीजिए मोदी को